Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, you are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 142. Holy crap, 142. Man, that's a lot. We are, for another week or so, in patch 7.1. Tonight, actually, we're going to be talking all about 7.1.5, everything you need to know to be prepped and ready for the patch drop. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. The wolves whose howl can signal death's coming, Lycan. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
So, these guys are so quiet. I really, after X amount of episodes, really do enjoy this time that we get, you and I, those of you listening and watching, without these guys talking. I know right now they're probably talking shit because they want me to unmute them. So I guess I probably should, but I just want to have this moment with you guys, and I want to tell you guys thank you for listening to us. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for supporting us. And thank you for those of you listening on iTunes. You don't get to see these guys' faces when it's muted, and it's quite hilarious. But I'm going to go ahead and unmute you guys now. See?
We were not talking trash.
You guys weren't even muted that long.
I was talking about chocolate milk, so it's all good.
We had a healthy Warcraft conversation.
Warcraft conversation? You expect me to believe that?
My word. Scout's honor.
You were not a scout.
I know. I said that the other day, and they're like, "Were you even a scout?" And I was like, "No." They're like, "What?"
He was a little maple.
Right.
I would have said Mountie, but whatever.
Nah.
I did bring...
That's the next level.
Right, that's the higher
little
up
maples
tier.
are the little small ones.
You're not a big boy yet, Gemma, but one day. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the monk who used Vivify with his Warcraft group to be responsible for his admins. I don't even know what that means, but I do also know that he does pee himself when he is in a bush.
Oh, Lord.
And that is Gemma.
That's a lie.
No,
I have created a Warcraft group that I don't talk about much, and because it was run by other admins or somebody else who has had to step away from it, I had to reconnect with a lot of those admins, and there's a lot of things that we could do for the community and add some more admins and moderators, so it's less neglecting this group, which is a great group. It's like a clean, healthy environment for Warcraft, and I created it 3 years ago, and it's grown to 42,000 people, which is crazy.
Jeez,
you think of trying to get 42,000 people, 42,000 Warcraft people to not kill each other in chats and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like a server.
I don't know. So, most of the people I don't even play Warcraft anymore.
Right? Some of those people actually are, they're not active, but they still get their Warcraft fixed in the group.
Yeah.
So it was cool to reconnect with some of those admins. I was kind of letting them down, so I guess that's why I brought it up, was to.
Well, I mean,
be more responsible.
You're gonna let people
cute.
down, Jim.
Right?
You let me down on a daily basis.
Ooh.
Just kidding. And he
Fire.
also mutes when he drinks, which is super nice.
I do now too. Shut up.
Canadian. So.
I did also bring the priest who is sick and tired of me saying I'm going to unmute them. You obviously are going to unmute us. You have to. # sick of your shit, Bell.
That's impressive. I wonder who wrote that, because sure the fuck wasn't me.
I didn't write it, but I thought it was funny, so I read it anyway, because...
How do you feel about that secret?
I'm okay with it.
You should be asking me how I feel about it. Since
how do you feel about it, Belle?
I mean,
how do you
to
really
be fair,
feel
everybody
you're not a monster.
Everybody at some point is going to be sick of my shit. I'm going to piss somebody off every episode and every day for that matter. It's just the way it is. So I take comfort. If I don't piss somebody off, then it's not a good day, because
Yeah, not
I
really.
mean, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
That is so true. Gemma, do you know anything about that?
No, I don't.
I did also.
I think Anaheim might.
Or that
Yeah.
poor Bush. Aw. I did also bring the paladin who likes to masquerade as a priest, which may be sacrilegious. I don't really know. Remedies, can you tell us more about your secret double cross-dressing life?
I am a cross-dresser, yes. It's not really sacrilegious, it's just frowned upon.
By what culture, though? I don't really know that anybody... Is your priest... is your priest a girl tune?
No, he is a male night elf.
He looks very feminine.
Mine's super feminine because she is.
Strain eye female.
One of these days, I'm going to shock everybody and roll a male tune. I'm going to go incognito in Moonguard as a boy. I want to experience it from the boy aspect.
That's what. Would your name be Bill?
I don't know what my name would be.
P-I-L-E.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy.
Did you say Pill
Why?
Cosby or no? We didn't say Pill Cosby. Got it. So, guys, the patch is coming out. I don't know about you
Wait, there's
guys,
a patch?
but yeah, there's a patch. Super excited. There is a lot to be talked about for what is going on with this patch. So I'm going to give you guys the full rundown so that you know what you need to do to be prepared. Now, the one thing that is not going to help you, since this show airs on, most of you watch this on Tuesday, world quests are going to be different when you log in. So don't panic. The emissaries are probably going to be different. All that's going to be completely different because they're doing a full reset. So
Right.
hopefully you guys have been monitoring the tweets and you did see that tweet from the developers so that you knew to do that. But if you log in, didn't catch that, that's definitely what's going on there. So don't...
Do we really think it's going to be up by 11 a.m. like they say?
What's funny is last time they did this, I told everybody, hey, you guys might as well not even bother till like 2 or 3. And it was up 30 minutes early.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I just was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just sit here and shut up then because clearly
I say 11:30.
I mean, it's a big patch. It's
That's
not
what
a
I'm
big
saying.
patch, but it's a pretty decent sized data patch. So the good news is with them having us download it ahead of time,
True.
I don't know.
We'll see.
People want to get in
Depends-
and see those changes for their class, though. So
It depends on the servers.
valid.
Yeah, that was a gigantic list of.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Changes.
class changes, which we are going to talk about some of them. But they're
Good. I was hoping you'd read them because I want to know.
yeah. There's definitely too many for me to read, but
Right. But
Probably-
yeah,
Say
they,
monk if you want.
yeah,
Just tell
some
us
ones to highlight, which would
Sound doesn't
probably
matter,
be
though.
ours since it kind of pertains to us. Makes a lot more sense.
I
for
would
us
say
to be
that
able to-
the one with the biggest change that we all know about is elemental. Like they
For sure,
they
for
changed
sure.
the hell out of it, which is great.
They needed it
I
really
wanna-
badly. They did some stuff to the destruction that I don't really know how I feel. Tio would
agree
know
with it
more
yet?
because he's on a different build than me. So we'll definitely talk about that later. So a couple things that I want to make sure I mention. There's no attunement needed for Nighthold. So you do not need to have Insurrection complete. However, since it is...
Yes, 'cause I haven't
since
fucking done
Suramar
it.
is...
I was surprised.
Suramar's the fan favorite, so I do recommend completing Insurrection, completing your Good Samaritan. Be good with these people. We're about to
Don't
enter
listen to her.
Nighthold and fight for them. Don't you want to be...
No.
No.
The very best.
I died a lot yesterday in
United
Suramar. I did
Nations
not have
fight
fun.
for a lot of people all the time that they have no idea who they are. So
I
See,
don't
now,
die in
I
Suramar.
love the architecture of Suramar, but yeah, I don't like
But we don't die. I don't die a lot. And I mean, I'm a warlock,
because
so
I
that doesn't
went to
count.
killing
you
everything.
fucking used to. Don't act like you
Yeah,
didn't.
when you
I'm-
first start out, but Jimma's at the point where he shouldn't be dying.
I'm behind for the quest chain, and I don't know my way around
Oh,
on the
yeah,
one
that-
area. And I was like,
Why
I
don't
was
you
getting.
just say, hey, Belle, can you escort me? You know that place better than anyone.
Yeah, you do.
I will get
Yeah,
together.
there's a
with Bella.
lily right next to house 237A.
I am like obsessed.
really pretty.
I'm hoping that maybe in a future expansion that they will just open up Suramar to be, if you've already completed all the achievements, that it'll allow you to just freely live there, because I would like to set up shop
No.
in one of those little houses.
That
Why are you
wouldn't
shooting
happen.
down my dreams, Rem? Like, we're supposed to be besties.
It
You're
just
like,
it just
"Choo,
wouldn't
choo."
happen.
Just like,
I would rather them like they're kind of I think they're working in the direction of it where last expansion was the garrison, which was like your house if you want to call it that, and now we have the class order hall, which is everyone of your class. I would like them to do a guild hall which would be neat, but
I would
don't
pay
know.
for that.
I would pay extra money for that. Like I would give gold for that.
I would give IRL money to get the.
Well,
kill
I'd give
to-
that too, but I don't think they would want that.
No,
yeah,
not really.
I think we talked about
But
that.
Yeah, Blizzard
what-
doesn't want our money.
What could be interesting is with us doing the whole thing after Nighthold, I would love to be Surmar to be our base of operations.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to see it come to more forefront so that it, like, there's a lot of people that feel like you two do that just don't like it. And I would like to see it in such a way that it gets the people that are super not happy with Suramar to just see the beauty in it and just...
Visually, it's very
Well,
nice.
you're talking about somebody,
yeah.
when we ran this in beta, Rem can attest to this, I had a smile on my face the whole time. Like, I was just completely just... Never
In
have
awe.
Like
I...
a kid in the fucking candy shop, man.
I've never loved anything as much as I love Suramar, and I think it's because it reminds me of Lord of the Rings. It reminds me of Rivendell. Like, it's super...
I mean, I get that.
It super
I
looks
totally
like that.
understand that.
I
Well,
wish there was
we
Hobbit
died
homes.
countless times, and like she's just sitting there as a ghost, going like, "Oh, look at this."
I really did.
Your
The
belly,
only
back to your
time
body.
when
I
dying-
can't.
She
This is
killed
so pretty.
herself to see the part
I
where
did.
all the elites were.
Yeah, where we couldn't go.
Oh,
Like, I would fly in, and then I would die just so I could run around as a ghost, which it's not as fun because you can't see the,
Right,
you
you
can't
can't
see
see
the
everything.
stuff walking around, and you can't really see it in the good vision. But I did. I kamikazed on several. Even now, I still do. When there's parts I'm trying to see that I can't survive in, I do. I do.
You can't survive. How dare you?
But that's why I'm excited for Nighthold, is just because it's the visuals probably. I mean, I haven't really checked out too much Nighthold stuff because that's the one raid I wanted to be surprised with, and we tried to do it on PTR, and it didn't work out. But I'm hoping I get like the good vibe because I don't like raiding, so I'm thinking like if I'm raiding in content that I love, like I don't really
like raiding.
Well, I don't really fancy doing like large PvE content like mythics and stuff like that, although I do like the Mythic Pluses, but it's Court of Stars that I love because it's...
Because it's Suramar.
But I don't like the Arcway. Doesn't hold my...
Got to find that agent though.
Yeah. So no attunement needed for Nighthold, which is amazing for a lot of you. I'm
Good.
sure you guys will be super stoked that there's no
I'm
attunement needed.
pumped.
And that comes out the 17th, just in case you guys weren't aware. It's going to be normal and heroic, and then...
So we'll be in there on the 22nd.
It's normal and heroic, and then you'll see LFR and Mythics open up
2 weeks later, right?
2 weeks later. They'll start
Yeah.
opening that, so it's really cool. You can, if you're not raiding Puggett, just go in and enjoy go kill Gul'dan. Like, somebody really needs to kill him, like, for real this time though. If we could just put a fork in him and be done. I mean, he's a
I
warlock.
don't think a fork will do it.
I don't think so either. Not even a pitchfork.
Maybe like a flamethrower, perhaps. Micro holidays, guys, those are coming in the patch, which is really, really nice. I'm going to be doing a calendar to let everybody know what they're looking forward to in those events. I mean, it'll be in the Warcraft calendar, so there's a lot of just little micro holidays just kind of sprinkled in there, and make sure you guys check them out. Go do the things. I think the most interesting one is the AQ one, I think, is the one.
Negative.
I'm actually.
Negative.
No?
I'm looking forward to that one.
Which
It's
one do you
guard
think, Brent?
day. Guard day.
Oh, where you get to be a guard?
Oh, that was kind of neat. I mean, actually, that's
I mean,
cool.
I like it because it was out of the blue and it's unique.
Can I arrest people because those
That would be
stupid kids
cool.
that steal the bread? And
Or those two kids that run each other over with like, "Oh, you stole my gorilla or my dolly or something."
Yeah.
didn't we? I think we did a show a long time ago, and Lycan had done a show on Topper McNabb, and I think he had talked about those children in Stormwind being Topper McNabb's children, like as a
Oh.
theory crafting type of situation. It's possible that they, the children of Stormwind might be Topper McNabb's. They might be illegitimate. They might be legitimate. We don't really know who Topper sleeps with, but I'm thinking that was the
But they're
consensus.
legitimate.
They're kids, and they're
I'm surprised you remember the name.
No kidding.
of
I
Topper
used to
McNabb.
sell those kittens
Yeah.
when it wasn't a cross server like auction house. When I started playing Alliance for the first time, I was just like dabbling in it. I would transfer so many cats, kittens, and Alliance specific pets to the Horde and just make so much gold. I'd sell them
You,
for so
you
much.
got to be kidding me.
I don't kid around.
Oh man, it hurts.
Cat around?
That physically hurts my feelings.
That was good.
That like physically hurts my feelings to be a part of these puns, to be perfectly honest. Artifact knowledge catch up. You have to be maxed out on your knowledge, so you need to be level 25 on one character so that you can buy the compendiums ?
Right.
and
Yep.
be able to get your alts to artifact knowledge level 20.
And they have to be level 110 before they can use them.
Right.
Which is awesome.
So take advantage because that is the
How does
greatest
that work?
thing ever.
Like
So
you buy them and then you
and you buy them
Yeah,
on
they're buying an account.
you buy them on the one tune that's got the level 25, and then you can send them because they are account bound.
and it's instantly level 20.
There's like
Or-
volumes that you get. The first volume does like what 1 through 5 maybe, and
Yeah, I
then like a
remember you
second
explaining
volume
those,
does
okay.
like 5 through 10. Like it's split up into the volumes, but you can max it out up to 20, level 20 on your alt, which is great because
Exactly.
20 is all you need to get going. Now, somebody told me what they've been doing on their alts is they've been getting that research before they even farm AP, before they
That's
do
what I've
anything
been
with AP, which then I thought about it. How smart was that? Because when they did get AP, it was like they were probably
Oh, there's so much. Yeah.
they were just getting their traits left and right because they were up to like, 50k AP or 25 AK AP or whatever. There's too many.
I'm behind on those some Suramar quests. Like you'd be embarrassed for me for how far behind I am. And like one of the quests was like 250k artifact power. It was a big chunk.
Easily.
Yeah. Well, Suramar was the best for all the questing areas as far as AP was concerned anyway, especially since a lot of those were really easy ones, like go talk to so-and-so, go show.
A lot of them were elites too that gave like 200k.
Yeah.
Feed this fruit.
Yeah,
Feed this
give the fruit to this and get 40k AP. Okay, sure, I'll do
Jump
the
in the
easy.
fruit bucket for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
and-
make wine, do weird shit. We don't want to judge with the wine. But yeah, so definitely take advantage of doing that. If you're, by now, if you've been doing content since the beginning, you should be pretty well, I would imagine everybody that's been active in playing is already level 25 for their artifact research. So hopefully.
Yeah,
Unless
that's the
some
good
of
thing
you
about the
are
artifact. Even
Go ahead.
the good thing about the artifact knowledge is it's even casual players. It's the AP.
But some of
you
your
just collect the
RL
order
friends.
resources.
Well, yeah, I
They
mean,
are.
because you could literally just go do your world quest and get resources, and then just keep
Yeah.
farming your artifact knowledge.
You can also
so.
sell your Blood of Sargeras for resources. I do that every so often because I don't really use them a whole lot because I'm
forgot
not
How
really...
many resources do you get per blood?
I forget the number, but
200 maybe?
That's not bad.
It's
I
in the
might-
range.
Well-
I want to between 200 to 500. I want to say it's 200 because that's what my brain is telling me that it's 200. But I do that every so often, especially since I don't need research anymore. My order hall's the biggest it can be. The only thing I use that stuff for is the random shit in your order hall, and then I use it for my seals each week. So I have an overabundance of it for sure that can go
Right.
towards that for my for the alts that I have that I'm running with the legendaries. So, and it's nice if you're multi-specking as well. So if you've got your weapon on other specs and you just don't want to deal with putting into it, whatever the case may be, it's just going to be a really good thing. So make sure you guys take advantage. The vendor's supposed to be in your order hall. So
We'll find out.
What?
the vendor for the compendiums, is that not in your order hall?
I think it'd probably be up there where you do your research at. That's my assumption.
I would think so too, as well, or the quartermaster or something. I don't know, but make sure that you guys do that because it's important. Now we talked about the legendary item that gives you the upgrade that upgrades your legendary to 940. Now I did give you guys the quest a couple weeks ago that you will get for it. Some people, for some reason, were under the impression that it was tied to the Illidan quest line, which is not a fact. The devs went on and tweeted and said, "We don't know why you guys are saying this." I'm pretty sure there might have been a bad data mine, and people might have just made
Probably.
an assumption. But there is a quest that you will get. I think I assumed that you were going to have to farm the stuff of Amanthul. I think it's like the essence of Amanthul or something. And I think we assumed that Nighthold would be the place that you would have to farm those essences because you have to have 50 of them.
Right.
So, not really sure how that's going to pan out. But you will get that item, which is really nice to get a 940 legendary.
Did they mention what the prerequisite was for it, or
I
did they
think
just say
I think you
they just debunk the Illidan?
They just debunked the Illidan. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
you pick up. I don't remember how you pick up the quest, but it's relatively easy, and then you start farming it's essence of Amanthul or teardrops of Amanthul or sweat of Amanthul. It's something to do with Amanthul. I can't
There you
remember,
go.
but I'd have
The
to
DO of
reference.
Amanthul.
Yeah, I'd have to reference the previous show to talk about it for that quest line, but. Super easy to get, good to do, not a problem. Like, get it, be happy, go do the cha-cha. Now,
Get it, got it good.
right. The most notable an exciting thing that's coming in this patch outside of class changes is going to be the Brawlers Guild, which does return. I did have a chance to go into PTR and check that out. I made it to like the 3rd boss before I was like, okay, I'm done. It was nice because it's different, it's a different set of stuff, so that's always nice to have.
But Sam, I don't have an invitation. How do I get one?
Who's Sam?
I don't know who Sam is.
Belle, how do I get an
Some
invitation?
girl. It's funny, you should ask. So, with the return of Brawlers Guild, it is bringing Brawlers Gold, which you'll be able to buy. There's a Basilisk. Hey, I said it right! What?
Took you 5 years.
I know, I've been practicing. I practiced before the show to make sure I said it right. But you can get the Basilisk mount with Brawlers Gold. There's some other stuff you can get, including the Challengers cards.
The new shirts,
Wait, you mean the end mount you can just get with Brawlers Gold?
Yeah,
now?
and then you get the Challengers cards, which allow you to buy the cards for the specific bosses in their raid style encounters with other people, which is really nice.
That's really cool.
You can do it with more than one person. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
It brings in everyone in that instance.
Everyone that's in there hops in and you guys go to town. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Oh.
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You get to do the Brawlers Guild stuff, but you can also phone a friend. So
that's why I watched the show. I didn't know that.
Yeah, nice. And the most interesting part about this whole situation is all the different bosses, including that seagull. God knows I do not want to go against that seagull, but I feel like we're going to do it anyway just for shits and giggles because I want to see what it's all about. Now, regarding the invitation, you will need a new Bloodsoak invitation as your old one will not work. You have been disinvited, essentially, from the Brawlers Guild. Now, Remedy swears that you get it from a mission table. I have to be honest with you, for 2 weeks in PTR, I never got a mission for the Bloodsoaked invitation.
Well, the first time I logged into PTR, it was on the table. So, I don't know what your issue was.
I don't know what PTR he was in. But the PTR I was in for 2 weeks, I tried to get it. However, have no fear. If you fly to Shield's Rest in Stormheim, it's the separate island all the way at the top. Go and farm those elites. It took me 7 or 8 elites, and a Bloodsoak invitation did drop. So what I did is I just went along the coast. You go, once you land, you just hop over. I went along the coast, and I just started killing all those elites there. And literally 7 or 8 elites later, a Bloodsoak invitation did drop. So
is the drop chance from anything
it's only the elites.
Anything elite. Mm-hmm. Okay.
On Shield's Rest, though. That's the only confirmed place we have seen it drop. There's no other confirmed place, so make sure that you just fly over there, do the cha-cha, do the things. Right. But I got it relatively quickly. It was literally not even 10 minutes. So, definitely go get that. It's located in the same place. You don't have to worry about that. Everything's exactly the same. They revamped it. They did, and there's also there's a new pet that you can get, which I'm assuming Jimma already knew about that, because if he didn't, he would.
He knew about the pet.
I hope
Nothing
so.
Else.
What pet? Tell us about it.
Tyler.
I don't know. How about you tell us about
Grondin. I don't know much about that pet, but I'm assuming that you're probably going to research before your segment so that you can make sure you tell us more about that pet.
It's on the segment, not today. We got other stuff on today's agenda, but we'll learn about that pet soon for sure.
Next week,
maybe.
After he's had time to research appropriately and possibly acquire the pet, maybe.
I did say that. I remember because Aja even was
I think we talked about it previously. You might have mentioned
there was 4 new pets, and I did forget the name of it, and I even forget what it looks like. But
breaking news today for next week.
Maybe.
Now there's also a Pugs List powerful punching ring which transports you to Bismos, so it will transport you to the Brawlers Guild, which is legit.
That's neat.
I want one.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, I have to say that I'm going to need
So I'm going to stop raiding to become a professional Brawler Guild member.
Well, I've never done it as Alliance, right? But I remember, in the complaint was, it's so far, it's further from the graveyard when you would die in the Brawlers Guild, right?
I just read the little stuff underneath the notes that they did for the patch. I read the patch notes for just updates, but I had already had most of that prep because we've been talking about PTR for a long time. They do say that they mention the Vicrolls, elite Vicrolls in Shield's Rest, so that is the confirmed spot. They didn't say any other spots.
Well, that's cool. And speaking of the Death and Brawlers Guild, there's Rezzor right inside of it now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
I would only go occasionally just to hang out, just to see what people do it before I had finished it on my shaman, and I would literally just sit there and just res people. Hey, you died.
What? Super
good guy
secret sauce, right?
I know. I don't mind. I even gave someone gold one day.
What?
Yeah.
Also,
It's fine.
Miss Pandaria Time Walking is coming. It's still so bizarre that we are so far into the future that Miss Pandaria is now considered old. To be time walking.
How bizarre!
You have
how
to be
bizarre.
91 and higher. Get the new bonus event. I think it rotates every couple of weeks, so I think
Right.
it's at least once a month you're going to have the time walking, which is really nice because there's the new the mount, which is the Heavenly Cloud Serpent. There's
I think
2
it's
new
pretty.
pets, which I know Jim had talked about. The reputation tokens is probably my favorite because I know that there's still recipes on a lot of my crafters that I never got because I just didn't want to deal with, getting Golden
Farming rep.
Lotus, and I think the only one I'm actually exalted with on Bell is like the Calaxy, maybe. I don't know.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like the
so
worst one to get.
Yeah, I don't.
can you
Well,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna ask because that was right when I was slowing down from collecting all my reputation, so I can gain reputation with those MOP factions through these time walkings.
Yep.
Do I
Yeah,
need
same-
the
yeah.
tabard, or do you just get them from doing the dungeons?
The reputation tokens you purchase from the vendor with Time Warp badges, so it's
Yeah.
pretty
Same
nice.
thing as the
It's
Wrath
the same thing like
NPC,
any of the other ones.
Nice.
It's really nice because Miss Pandaria had a lot of notable recipes for a lot of professions.
So many cool mounts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So really nice that you could do that, and that's probably the thing that I'll want to run them anyway because I know a lot of people like talk crap about Miss Pandaria, but I loved Miss.
You know how many
Pandaria.
people were bitching that there was too much content at the start of MOP? They're like, "There's too many dailies. There's too much." Like, I got being mad about.
There's so much. Yeah, there's so much to do, but people are like, "Oh, it's World of Daily Craft," or
They're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta log in to
Craft.
do my tillers." Oh, you're a farmer now? Got it. Check that
Well,
off.
some of the starter gear, the epics you needed or you could get with some of the factions as well. But I just remember there were
Right.
so many cool mounts that I never got because that was when I
Shadow
started.
Pan, dude.
Miss Pandaria
Well-
was the high life for Destruction Warlocks, and it will always be in my memory as the best time ever.
Nice.
There you go.
Shadow
Best you've
Priest
ever had.
PvP.
Well, and I
Oh,
love pandas, so the whole visual of like the Jade Forest, like that whole scene was just my
Yeah.
get down. Like I was totally in love with it. Why I don't have a panda, I think
Yeah,
I
you
do.
should make a Panda Warlock.
I feel like I have a panda somewhere. I just don't. She might be on another server from
That's
this.
what I used.
Unfortunately, you cannot.
Pre-Miss Pandaria, I was not on Argent Dawn. I was on Natherzim, so I'm sure I have a panda on Natherzim somewhere that I haven't moved over. I want to say it's a monk. I don't know, but I did enjoy it. So yeah, you get all that. There's a lot of stuff that are coming with the time walking, and that's most of the dungeons. So, that's pretty cool. I'm excited, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm so excited.
Oh.
That was super weird. I mean, I'm not going to judge you or anything. I'm just going to say that that's super
It's okay.
weird.
I know what it's all about.
Okay, so for some more context on that artifact knowledge, there'll be repeatable quests that you can exchange your order hall resources for the compendiums.
I'm down.
So
Yeah. Hell
easy
yeah.
to do, repeatable quests. Blue question mark will tell you, hey, I could keep turning this crap in. I think I would assume it'd be a blue question mark. It'd be weird if they didn't, but yeah.
It's like encouraging me to play alts, right? Like if I had all those alts at 110, I know you guys already have some, but you can just get so much
I only have
artifact
one
power.
alt.
Well, I have several that I'm working on, and then I'm about to
Wait.
work on the weapon for all 3 specs of Warlock. I'm not changing specs to get the Affliction weapon. I'm just doing it long enough to get to, so I can get all 3 to be a good Warlock. I feel like you need to have all 3 weapons.
She's gonna whisper remedies
To
and be like,
be
Affliction is so
No,
fun.
no, I'm good.
a good warlock would try out all 3 specs and just try the one that does
I have
well
to tell
with
you,
the best.
running PvP this entire weekend, I seen more Destro than I have ever seen, and I was really
Oh, really?
happy, really happy to see that.
A lot of Destro, yeah.
Like there was 4 Destro to every 1 Affliction.
Damn,
I was pretty excited to see that. We'll talk about that in my segment.
that's
So,
pretty neat.
pre-made group finder coming to the quest tracker. That's friggin' interesting.
Yeah.
Basically, it allows you to make groups visible to your friends and guild mates. Searching for groups who need your role based on active specialization, sorted at the top of the list. You'll receive more descriptive message when you are declined when attempting to join a group which is full. I appreciate that because if you could tell me why you declined me, that would be great because I want to be a better human, right? And I'm sure you guys do too. You want to be better at your craft. You want to be, you want to be better so that you get accepted to these elite pre-made groups. If you could kindly not just tell me I don't have the job, but give me here's your work it list. Here's what you need to work on to be better so that we don't decline you. That would be super awesome. So that's great for me. If you could just send me a note and be like, hey, stop sucking. Cool. I will work
You mean
on
like
that.
when you're applying for the group, they can give you a response on why?
Yeah,
I have
like
a
if
feeling
you-
like so many players wouldn't even fill that out.
I would just
No,
tell me,
the
hey, it's your
affliction.
item level or it's your, you know,
Yeah.
let's
I get it.
banter. Make me better. I'm already
Affliction.
amazing, but make me better, right? Do you guys agree? Would you, if you guys were
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
mean-
Which part of that statement are we agreeing?
what if you
Make
guys were
better.
group leaders and would you tell people why you're declining them?
I've done it in the past.
No.
I have, like, if I've been melee heavy, I'll tell the people, like, hey, I declined you. Like, don't whisper me first, like,
Oh,
I have
hey, why'd you
GC, I have this, so then I'll be like, okay, this is why I declined you, because I already have 3 rogues, I don't need another one, so stuff like that. But 90% of the time, it's just, they don't need it. They already have that many of whatever they need, casters or healers or, tanks automatically are going to get declined if they already have that role filled, so...
So the cool thing with this being in the quest tracker for group quests specifically, especially when there's several of you that need to kill like the wanted, right, for the wardens, or when there's stuff that just requires more than one person, a small button will be next to the quest name, and basically you right click that, click find group, and automatically
That's cool.
does all
Awesome.
the stuff for you.
That's
So
pretty neat.
I think that's nice because it is putting the power to the people who do not have somebody that, like for me, I'll do world quests until Remedies gets on and then we'll go do stuff. But when I'm solo, when he's not there, it would be nice for me to be able to go. I probably won't use it anyway because people are mean, but it's nice for other people to have that at their fingertips if they don't have.
Group Finder is very user friendly, and then this is just even better. It's just like a better version of it.
No, what they did is they already implemented an add-on that was added for Legion. The World Quest Group Finder assigned you to get, they already implemented it then.
Yeah,
They already
I didn't.
put it into their game then.
I didn't even download it. But that's what they do, though, to be fair. They do take really good add-ons, and they do make that a part of the UI, which some could argue
Well, that's the thing. It was so beyond useful. Like, you go into the zone, and it would be like, oh, you want to make your own group, or do you want to find one? And it does it for you.
I
It
don't
was
know.
like,
I don't know if it pisses people off that they do that. I mean, if I was the developer of this add-on, I would take it as a compliment, I guess. But hopefully you showed me the money when you stole my idea. I'm pretty sure they didn't steal the idea. I'm sure... I'm sure they worked it. Because we
It was
know
already-
somebody,
Right.
remember
It's
OQ,
already there.
like, they gave OQ money for...
conversation.
Oh, did they?
Compensation,
Oh,
yeah,
I was gonna
so,
say that's good.
That's why when
Everyone
I
was
see
using OQ.
when I see bitter postings, I'm like, that's weird because I'm pretty sure they paid you, so you can't really be bitter because they didn't really have to. They could have just been like, oh, we had been working on this whole time. So
I'm sure they didn't have a patent for
the
it.
good news about this is,
Right.
is it does make it one less add-on, right? So hopefully the developers aren't upset about that. It does, that if I were a developer, I'd probably be pretty ticked off, but then complimented that they liked my stuff so much that they thought it was so useful that it's now a permanent part of the game and that'll be forever.
Right.
So I think that's, I definitely think that's a good thing.
Show me the money.
The Legion Companion app, that's being
Show me the
updated
money.
to support the new patch as well as bug fixes and functionality improvements. There's some stuff that kind of gets a little glitchy and a little janky sometimes, but that's not super terrible. New legendary items, there's too many for me to bother listing, but you'll either get them or you won't. You'll find them or you won't.
Good luck, Remedies. Good luck.
Right? Fucking-
Yeah, he needs a little bit of love in that department. Professions, many 3-star recipes have had their drop rates increased.
Yeah, that's good though, because a lot of them were taking forever to get.
Mm-hmm.
So
Not too many changes, but
Sounds
there
like
are
some
6
good
new
ones.
world quests in Dalaran entitled Gem Cutter needed. That means you probably. Vantis runes have added their benefit increase from 1,000 versatility to 1,500, which is nice because those Vantis
That's
runes are
huge.
really, really useful for a lot of those, for bosses that are difficult to get down. So
I was gonna say Archimon. Xavius.
yeah, which we did. We used them for Xavius, and I think they did. Vantis
That was our
runes.
first skill too.
They did Vantis runes last night for Hell Yes, so definitely
Nice.
good there. And the material cost has been reduced by half, which is nice because it is quite pricey, especially for a full raid team. You're dealing with a lot of material costs being.
Was that the day that we mixed both rates? Yeah, huh?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Oh, it is. Yeah, because both sides got AOTC.
I am
yeah.
looking at the Demon Hunter changes, and I'm just looking at all the buffs, and I'm just like, oh, why? You're
Right?
already amazing. Why? Then, yeah, like Fell Barrage increased by 20%. All damage done by Havoc spells increased by 10%. All this good things. Cool.
Because they're already OP'd, but let's give them some more.
But it's,
People
it's
want
the
to know
new...
about.
What? You want to know about yours?
No, people want to know. There's so many monks out there that want to know about Mistweavers.
When you say so many, Gemma would like to know what's going on in the Mistweaver world.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Mastery, your Gusts of Mist healing is increased by 30%. Rising Sun Kick mana cost down 2% of base mana, so it was like 2.25. The Song of Chi-Ji cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds, which is nice because that's that nice smart heal. It's perfect for, raids and stuff. Your Diffuse Magic cooldown is now 90 seconds. It was 120. Zen Pulse damage and healing increased to 220% of spell power was 200. And Mist Walk healing increased to 420% of spell power was 350. So that's super nice.
Bell giving the people what they want. So many happy
Song of Chi-Ji is that crack chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this
he's the smart healer. He goes and he runs and he goes to heal.
He like...
And he does it all on his own.
That's
He just
really
picks
cool.
the player that needs it the most and goes and does the thing. Now, not for nothing though, Brewmaster, they increased most of the Brewmaster damage abilities have been increased by 9%. Breath of Fire range and width have increased. Gusts of Mist maximum bonus is now 75, up from 60. There's a new talent, Mystic Vitality. Stagger is now 40% more effective against magical attacks. Their Elusive Dance now grants up to 20% dodge and damage, which it was 15. And then Crackling Jade Lightning damage increased by 100% for Brewmaster.
We have like 90% of our viewers. 90% of our viewers are like, we don't care about the monk changes.
Well, no, there's a lot of our viewers who
that's good.
Who kind of ditched out on Brewmaster for a while because they're it was just a little bit clunky, I think, in rotation,
Right.
whatever their issues are, which is why I haven't swapped to Brewmaster just yet because people were saying that stuff was broken. I'm already going to try to learn to tank. Now I got to deal with broken class. I just can't. But
That's when you should learn how to tank.
I agree. I was
because
just
that's
thinking,
going to make you better.
literally just I thought of that and I was like, well, maybe doing it if there is some functionality, but I don't know if there is or there isn't, and it's just people complaining because I don't main it, so it's difficult for
Right.
me to even know if that's actually valid.
I'm gonna try Brewmaster in Battlegrounds once I get some more artifact power.
There's a
Just
lot
don't
of
go-
class changes, guys, like a lot.
Just don't go into arena as tank. I'll kill you.
No,
Oh.
I don't feel it's effective. I
For
can't
Class
see.
Hall, the Sun Blossom Pollen from the Druid Class Hall Evergreen plant plots now provide plus 10% damage reduction over 1 hour. Was plus travel form speed. That's kind of cool. Nice little buff that you get. Tons of legendary item adjustments, guys. There's a whole page. Please go in and do.
Oh, yes.
Go
Some
in and
research.
check that out because there's a lot. Check out the class hall or check out the class changes. There is a lot. Go see.
Yeah, the
what's
list is
changing.
very in depth, and it's across the board for PvE, PvP, legendaries. I mean, you name it, it's going to be on this list. I kind of checked it out earlier, in between my sleeping.
Got it. PvP dampening now begins immediately in 2v2s for both
Ooh.
skirmish and arenas. Obviously,
That's actually good.
Immediately?
Yeah, twos can go on forever.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like twos when I do with the DPS because if it's just this long match, but
Right.
that's crazy.
Blade's Edge, we all know, has gotten a huge revamp. It's amazing. So
It looks,
excited
it
to
looks
check
so
that
pretty.
out. Up to Prestige level 9 will be added. Artifact traits at 35 points and above are now enabled in PvP. Wait, what?
Confusion?
Artifact traits at 35 points and above are now enabled in PvP.
They weren't enabled.
The increased damage percentage is now allowed in PvP.
Yeah.
Nice. So
like that, right?
that's the last gold dragon you're pumping your trade into, which
Right.
I've been doing.
Yeah, the 5%,
Which I have
then
not been
0.5, then 0.5, then 0.5, then
Yeah.
0.5.
You like that?
I do like that. I think that's I'm scared of it, but I do.
I mean, it pays off the grind, so...
Well, we'll talk about that later, but I've been PvPing all weekend and I've already pumped twice into my 4th dragon. Like that 5%. I literally
Nice.
have gotten so much AP from doing PvP this weekend that I did not world quest at all this weekend, and I literally got, it's like 1.5 million per one, and I did it twice, which is really sweet.
I
So-
could have done that, but I was pumping all my AP into my Shadow artifact. That I will go back to Shadow to do world quests, but I'm doing the damn world quest for the hidden skin, where you have to do 200 world quests, and with that staff on, and I'm just like, this
okay.
It's really boring as fucking holy, by the way. Yeah, holy scene doing damage is booty.
I mean,
well, I was gonna say, depending on how much you're in, you can unlock it across all of them.
Oh, true.
Damage caused by Soul Rip, Shadow Nova, On the Trail, and Shadowy Apparition should no longer break control effects such as Polymorph or Freezing Trap. Honor talents that replace taunt effects for each tank spec will now cause their original taunt effect to be applied to non-player targets. I don't think tanks should be in arenas, but whatever. Moving along, there's tons of PvP class adjustments. Actually, there is a lot. And nothing for the Warlock except for Affliction, which is cool.
Right.
Sounds good. Keep changing stuff for Affliction. That's a good idea.
Best idea ever.
The Kirin Emissary World Quests.
Have they made that buy on account yet?
Well, no, but they are fixing it. So there won't be only just a couple up, which is nice, right? Because fuck Like the Wind. Can I get an amen?
Best one. Fan favorite.
Like the Wind's the best. Hello.
Those are easy.
Okay.
And those are fun.
I like the barrel of the barrel of fun. I like the lay race. Like I like the magical flight, right? Where you gotta be in the bubbles. Don't have a problem with that.
Those are so damn easy. That's why.
45 minutes in Stormheim doing that Like the Wind shit. Now, to be fair, Remedy told me don't do it. Do not do the new Kirin quest because you are going to rage. And I'm like, you don't even know me. I'm in control of my emotions. Literally 45 minutes in, I'm ranting in the guild group. I'm like, fuck this. I was so...
How does it even lead up to 45 minutes?
Idea was this?
I don't get that.
Because I kept missing the little stupid thing you have to land on, and if you do, it knows if you're not going to land on it. So if you're not doing your thing, it like ports you back.
Yeah, if you're close enough to the landing pad, it actually like shifts you to it. If you're close enough.
Yeah,
to
if you like touch the edge, it'll.
Arguably, there are probably a lot of people that love it. I don't have the patience, and I know in advance that I don't have the patience. So because I don't like the quest Like the Wind doesn't mean I'm lazy. I don't want instant gratification. It's not about that. It's just not fun for me. Like it's not fun for me.
I like it because it's quote unquote challenging.
I agree. I think the challenge is great, but I shouldn't have to practice a world quest. Just throwing that out there. But I think that's great. It's good for people. If you guys love it, I love it. It's not for this girl. So I do all of them but those ones. I won't. Somebody will tease me and be like, hey, Like the Wind is up in High Mountain. Pretty sure you can fuck off because I don't care. But I think it's great that the Kirin ones are different than the other world quests because I do think it breaks up the monotony of the world quest grind. And man, I can't talk.
Wine. World quest wine. That's
yeah,
new shit.
The grind. And I do think I like that they're putting that thought process out there to make it challenging and to break up the monotony. A lot of these world quests, they're repeated bullshit and it's the same stuff we do every day. I'm not complaining, guys, because I love it, but
I am.
I think it's good that they did that. All world quests will be regenerated, which we talked about that with the patch. All the existing emissaries will be different. So if you guys were planning on getting an emissary done and you didn't, I'm sorry. Because
I'm probably doing mine after the show.
yeah, because Blizzard's a troll, and that's just what they do. I think Remedies is going to try one last time for a legendary out of those.
I might as well before work.
Good luck. I think you're going to do
I
it.
stopped doing world quests after I got a legendary on each alt. Which is probably a bad thing.
I stopped doing world quests. Actually, I haven't stopped doing them. Not yet.
But I'll continue just to try to get... I would like a second legendary on Bell, but I feel bad for thinking about that and being like, I really would like it, because there's so many people who don't even have a legendary yet. I feel bad for being selfish and wanting a secondary since my order hall allows me to have a secondary, but...
Yeah, or a third, or get your followers legendaries, or, stuff like that. So.
I mean, I have 3 legendaries, but...
Sauce was showing me his legendary upgrade for his follower today.
What
I didn't
you guys
even know
do behind closed doors without your pants is your guys' business. You want to run around showing each other your legendary stuff, that's your business.
Yes.
Mine's on the internet for everyone to see.
It is on the internet. You gotta stop
Snapchat.
posting those pictures, Gemma. No one's gonna take you seriously.
They don't already.
Your boss is
Right?
gonna see that, and you may get fired for,
I'm a grunt now. I'm good.
I
You
don't
can't walk.
know what
You can't put a
that
shoe on.
means. There's a few ways that we could take that, so I'm a little concerned.
He's a grunter.
To be, I'm scared. To be perfectly honest. So that's pretty much what we're looking at in the patch. With that said, there was not a whole lot of news because there doesn't need to be, because hi, there's a patch happening. So get
And
excited.
we all knew it was coming. We all knew all that. So
As adjustments are happening, I'll make sure that I note those for the following week so that we're aware of them. So yeah, hopefully.
That was a lot of good info for me.
Yeah, it was a lot of good info. Make sure you guys go check out your class changes. Just go peruse them.
You should read the long list for Shadow.
Take to the forums, give constructive feedback, let them know what you dislike, and if that doesn't work, burn this bitch down, because that's what I would do. I'm just kidding.
Why do we need to know about Shadow? Sauce already looked at his class changes before the show. He's the priest.
I'm just saying he probably doesn't understand something.
actually, I do. I had to give someone Shadow tips. You weren't on one morning, Remedies. I'm sure you were at work. It was like 2 Tuesdays ago. And they were like, well, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, okay, well, come to Dalaran. Let me see what you're working with. It was a boosted tune, someone in guild. So I said, this is the reason why. I started Legion in full, heroic gear, trinkets, everything you could think of, and ring and whatnot. So I was like, so this is why you're going to have a hard time. And I kind of gave them a simple breakdown of the rotation, all the dots up, use your bomb to stun them and all this type of stuff. And within like 10 minutes, they messaged me back. They're like, thanks. Like, I was doing everything wrong. And I said, make sure to keep your fucking bubble on. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I pop the bubble first and let the cooldown start dwindling down. That way, when shit starts going bad, you can pop it again. So, I had to take ownership of that one. But I thought of you the entire time. And I raided last week with another group to help out to heal. And their Shadow Priest, I'm not going to mention this person's name because they had everything wrong. Like, everything you could think of. You would have had a heart attack. You would have left the group and all this stuff. And I'm sending this person tells, like, you need to change all this because that's why I can out DPS you as a holy priest, which should not happen. And they were like, okay, thanks. Nothing got changed, and their DPS still was sucky. So, yeah. But yeah, sorry. That was my last week in WoW. How about that?
Secret Sauce is definitely the friendliest guy on the show. He might be the friendliest guy in Warcraft. He'll help you. Just ask him.
I will, actually. People have asked.
Right?
So.
See?
He's pretty friendly. I won't, I'm not going to try to lie. I'm not going to try to lie and be like...
You know him a little bit more. Yeah.
So, I got to fix your thing here. So, yeah, that's pretty much... I'm double checking just to make sure there isn't any last minute anything that I forgot. There's some stuff that I'm going to talk about PvP related, but that's during my segment. So, Jimma, what news from the pet battle scene, man?
No news. Just some stuff we want to talk about. What do you guys know about pet breeds? I've mentioned it before, but your pets have different stats depending on what breed they are. That's crazy, right?
My dog is it's a half Chihuahua, half Yorkie. So it's a mutt.
Mine is Shih Tzu and Bulldog.
Mine is Chihuahua and Mini Poodle.
Right? We've all got different breeds. Now, I'm talking about different breeds, right? Some pets have different stats, and you don't really know, or when pet battling first came in, there was no way to indicate this in World of Warcraft. You had no idea what these stats were or meant. You could look at them, but you had no idea. I had no idea, and that was very confusing to me when I found out about breeds. So I've always used the add-on Battle Pet Breed ID. Now Blizzard finally caught on, and there are little symbols next to your pets to indicate these same logos, like a sword for power, like attack,
right.
Excuse me. And, a couple like arrows going one way for speed. So it's good that they tell you, but the reason why Battle Pet Breed ID is even better is it tells you the stats before you level the pet. So, and some pets only have one breed, right? The Terraclaw Hatchling only comes in one breed, so you don't have to worry about it. But
that's the
some
purple
pets,
one, right?
that is not the purple one. It's epic, though. It's one of the best pets in the game. It's great.
Right.
So I wanted to bring that up to kind of give some of the other people that didn't know a heads up. And I was trying to follow up another list. You know, we started with the 10 best pets for beginners. We're going to talk about another 7 pets now. They're just really neat. I like them. Most of them can be found in the wild. All of them can be found in the wild, actually. And breeds actually matter for some of these pets. So I also recommend these 7 to have in your collection for different reasons. One is the Blighthawk. It's an undead bird that a lot of people don't use or know about, and it can be found in the Western Plaguelands, and it has 4 different breeds. I like the power speed version. It hits hard. It is somewhat fast, and sometimes with undead pets, you don't have to worry about how much health you have because you always have that one round coming back after you die anyway, which is great. So I recommend the Blighthawk. Not talked about enough. Great for a lot of PvE or power level or, you know, defeating trainers, but also very good in PvP pet battles. The next one is the Nether Fairy Dragon. It is exactly like the Sprite Darter Hatchling, but the Sprite Darter Hatchling is kind of a rarer pet. So if you don't have a Sprite Darter Hatchling, the Nether Fairy Dragon is just as good, but comes in like 8 different breeds. So I like the speed version, meaning it's fast, it'll attack first, but there's also a power version, meaning it hits really hard. And it comes with great abilities for PvP and also against, you know, pet tamers or the garrison pet battle dailies. It has a dodge ability. It has the exchange move, life exchange, where you'll swap health with your enemy pet. Very cool. So the Nether Fairy Dragon I recommend a lot. It's helped me in a lot of World Quest dragon only, like when you're making a dragon team to defeat those World Quest tamers. So very good. One of the harder ones to get is the Bronze Whelpling. You actually have to farm and kill things. You can't just go catch it. You have to buy it on the auction house, which is actually, I did farm one. I say I never farm things. I farmed this.
Yeah,
when
you farmed it for Warlords.
I did. Yeah, that came out right before right when that Warlords patch happened.
The little invasion that was
absolutely
going on.
Yeah, it was cool. And there's 2 different breeds, and the speed version is great. It comes in one with a lot of attack power and one with a lot of speed. It's great because it just, you have a stun, you do some damage, you can lift off in the air, avoid damage. It's so awesome for PvP pet battles. The other pet that I don't ever use, but I have lost to it in PvP pet battles a few times. A lot of people use this Phosphor Rat, and I had one, but I looked at it while I was creating the segment. You know, I was thinking, what pets do I talk about? And this pet comes in a variety of breeds as well, and it's from Frostfire Ridge. Sometimes you forget what pets you get because they're just, you don't use them or you got them so long ago. It's the only it's the only rat in the game that has Call Darkness and a crouch ability that reduces damage for 3 rounds. Saves you a lot of health. And I was looking to see if there's any rats like this, and I found out there is. There's a blind rat. It's a pet I don't have, and you can get that in the sewers. Right? I've never really stepped foot in the Dalaran sewers this expansion. So that's probably why. So Phosphor Rat or the Blind Rat, they're the same. You know, add them to your collection. Great for PvP pet battles. The Fen Crab. I should just say a crab, right? If you're looking for a pet that does a lot of damage that's easy to get, it just destroys aquatic pets. It is an aquatic pet, but it does a lot of damage to aquatic pets. And you can literally get them everywhere. When Timeless Isle first came out, it was one of a kind. It was a pet that sold for 15,000 gold. I used to use it for PvP pet battles. I used to try it out in a lot of different scenarios. But since Timeless Isle, it's literally been one of those pets that's just reskinned and put everywhere. But it's great because you can add it to your collection without having to pay, 10,000 gold. So whether it's a fen crab, a coralback fiddler, a frostshell pincher, a kelp scuttler, I know that sounds like bloobity blah. It's just crabs in the wild. Add them to your collection. And then the other 2 I'm not going to talk a lot about because I've mentioned them previously. The Rose Taipan, you can go get in the wild. It's great for PvP pet battles, specifically for PvP pet battles. And we discovered, and I learned, that the Unborn Valkyr is much easier to get. And I feel that's a need in your collection. Out of all of these pets, I recommend probably the Unborn Valkyr the most. And
you've always said it. You said it for the past couple of weeks, so obviously right? it means something.
Yeah, and I was actually, the first time I mentioned it, I didn't realize that it was nerfed. And
really?
Well, it was easier to get. So then I brought it up again last week, and then I'm mentioning it again because some of the viewers have actually gone and got them since last week's episode. So that was really
Nice.
cool. I really enjoy when people tweet me and say those things. So I realize it's a long list. I'm going to repost them in the comments, and I think you should add them to your collection and go get that add-on Battle Pet Breed ID. So, yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
Woohoo, pets.
First, he pees in bushes. Now he's trying to give you all crabs. I don't know what's going on with Gemma. I
soft
feel
shell
like
crab too. That's at new
I
model.
tell them a story literally before the show. This is why I don't tell these guys much. I'm very I'm not a quiet person. I'm very loud and I talk too much, but I don't tell these guys specific stories because it ends up on the show.
You don't have to tell us. We saw you asleep on the toilet. Like it was a group picture that was
didn't
sent
see
to
shit.
everybody.
I was knocked out.
We've
Right? No one saw
we've
me.
lived this life together. Like we
We've had a good run so far.
Are you gonna do this again this year, Jimma?
I'm going to be more organized. If you're talking BlizzCon, definitely feel like I wasn't
No,
structured.
I'm
like
talking
you said.
about all the.
Drinking? Pokemon Go?
You mean is he gonna let somebody drink my drink at BlizzCon?
I repurchased that, and then I saw you give it to Remedies. I
You
was
know
like,
why?
"This-"
Because the bartender did not do it right. It didn't. They did not do it right.
No,
It was
you're
awful.
right. You're right. The
So
one
that's
that
why
you
you had
had.
Remedies.
No, I agree. Because when I was drinking it as well, because I was like, I'll just get two. It did not taste
No, it
the
did not.
same.
I think they used a different type of alcohol because whiskey sour is supposed to have bourbon, and it did not taste.
Right.
It tasted like they put tequila in it. It was. Really
Oh, I
gross.
thought they just rushed it, right? Because the one that
I
guy
did.
drank on you was perfect. It had a
It was
cherry
so
on it.
good.
It was just
I'm
so
obsessed with
beautiful.
those.
Yeah, yeah.
Not Warcraft related, but moving right along. That was an excellent.
You guys were drinking the fill all weekend. There you go.
The liquid marijuana, I didn't know that was a drink.
That's
And
so
shit.
good, though.
It really is good.
I'm like, how do I not know this is a drink?
I tasted it. As far as it
Good.
went.
It really is good. So now we are going to swap, and we've been doing. We're doing a series of the Nighthold bosses. So I think we're talking about another boss here, or maybe the first boss? Question mark remedies.
Like 2 or 3, actually.
In one?
because, Yeah, because of the depth of them isn't really well known.
Oh, got it.
So it's kind of like a synopsis of it.
So what's the first 3 bosses that we're going to be dealing with in Nighthold? Like, tell me their story, if there is one.
Well, the first 3 is the Scorpid that I mentioned last week, which it didn't really have anything to really talk about because it's just a Scorpid that absorbed the Nightwell. So there's not much to really roll off of it with it. But the Chronomatic Anomaly is actually interesting because it's built off the Nightwell's energy, which kind of gives a kind of vision into the elements, because it's the what's the term I'm thinking of? It's like the actual energy manifesting itself into life and attacking us, and
Like an
so we'll
aura?
have to.
No? Not Nora?
No, more like not really the Naru,
Like
but
AIDS?
like a
No.
yeah, kind of like AIDS. Yeah, just kind of takes over. No. But no,
I'm trying to help.
the first 3 is just kind of they're just kind of like a regular gate to get through.
Mhm.
They're just kind of there. What's kind of interesting is Spellblade Aurelia and I still don't know how to say it. Star Augur Etrias. They're interesting, but like I said,
You actually don't know how to pronounce something?
I know,
What is
I was
wrong with
about
this
to
world?
say, I'm glad you...
I was really hoping Belle was going to be like, no, this is how you say it.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Remedies
But no,
don't know
they're-
how to say it. Bell don't know how to say it.
Right.
They're kind of just minions of Elisand, but they have an interesting backstory, but they're kind of still extremely new. And so I was going to give a brief rundown of what the actual adventure guide in the game says about them. But it's Eliril has an affinity to magic. She rose through the ranks of the Night Guard effortlessly, having a natural talent with the sword, but no matter... Oh my god, I can't even talk. But no matter how strong she became, she wanted more. She studied with the mages at the University of Suramar, spending her days in combat training and her evenings in the artificery. She forged her weapons and armor in the Nightwell, weaving magic spells into the precious metals. She is the first Spellblade adept in the schools of fire, frost, and arcane. What's interesting about that is it claims she's the first Spellblade, but technically, for instance, Kalthos had I forget the fire mage's weapon. He wielded that, so technically he was a Spellblade with the fire. But then you have she's adept with in all schools of magic, which technically, going to be real technical, all mages that we are the character masters all of those schools. But it kind of shows a little kind of window into what the Nightborn have been doing for the past 10,000 years. They've been honing into their magic and becoming more and more powerful.
Well, that's because of the Nightwell, though, right? And they're all alcoholics, so there's that.
Yes, pretty much. But yeah, the Nightwell is a big influence on what they've become, for sure.
So is the Nightwell influencing all of these bosses here? They're all, like, their mission is to protect?
Yes, they are more putting their effort into the Nightwell instead of the citizens, which is why we're in this instance going on with Gul'dan.
Interesting.
But
So for these 3 bosses, what type of fights are these? Are these huge, like, physical fights? Is it, like, a lot of magic? Like, what type of fights do you know? Just based off the type of character they are? Would that tell you?
I haven't seen the videos from, like, any of the previews and all that, but the chronomatic anomaly will more than likely be a magic influence fight for sure. It'll be a not really any physical damage, but
and the Scorpion
Spellblade
for sure is probably like.
Oh, that's gonna be all melee.
All melee, yeah.
I would assume so.
That'd be like crystals and stuff flying throughout the ground and all that, more than likely. But when the chronomatic anomaly will all be magic, it'll be the whole raid will just. I feel like it's going to be a with what's his name, the ogre for the last boss in Warlords.
Oh, Imperator?
What? Yeah, Cho'Gall?
No, it's the
Well,
Imperator.
it's not Cho'Gall, it's the Imperator. Yeah,
Yeah,
I forget
Imperator.
his name.
I know because we wiped a
in
billion freaking gajillion million times on the Imperator.
I
Yeah,
could
because
get-
no one wanted to move out of the fucking orbs.
Belle, I assume you're saying. Yes.
No, she was fine.
I would have
Oh.
already been dead by the time that phase happened.
She was dead
FYI.
usually by that time. So by phase 4, she was usually dead. So
Well, and the Imperator brings up the Imperator colors and everything would remind me of something that I would like to see in Nighthold. Like so that is a good point.
It'll be a lot of it because it is arcane. It's like
mhm.
the chronomatic anomaly is arcane incarnate. It is literally the energy becoming self-aware. It's Skynet.
We knew it was going to happen eventually.
they don't have internet in those times.
John Connor told us it was going to happen. John.
But
Connor
no, there'll be arcane shields. There's going to be lightning. There's going to be a lot of things. Now that I'm actually looking at the fight, oh my god, I'm scared, guys.
You're fine.
What an interesting thing about I'm gonna butcher it again. Star Augur Atreus. He's technically the 5th boss, I believe.
Okay.
He has a view on the stars itself, so he's harnessing arcane Elune-esque things, the light, the moon, and all that. And so it's an interesting fight, and where it's a lot of like Algalon, where it's the astral, and so it's a lot of the kind of like a Moonkin esque spell. That's the oh my god, I'm brain fighting on that. But no, it's going to be an interesting fight because it's going to be arcane and the astral aspect of it. Oh, wow.
That works. We'll be all right.
I think it's upsetting that there isn't more knowledge out there.
Well, that's
You
the
know?
problem. The Surmar isn't a new concept, but there was never really any any lore on it. It was all the Broken Isles, because in Warcraft 3, the very first mission for one of the expansions was going to the Broken Isles. And so we know a lot about the Tomb of Sargeras, aka Temple of Elune.
Right.
But the Suramar itself is a new concept that's been introduced to us. They've known about this forever.
But
this is the first time they've actually started talking about Suramar, yeah.
So all that back history doesn't exist to us at all.
We know a lot about Suramar, but we don't know a lot about what's going on right now.
Right.
For instance, you know what I'm...
Yeah, I get that makes a lot of sense. And I'm assuming cinematic-wise, because I know in beta and that kind of stuff, they cut the cinematic out, like you didn't get to see it. So I, for one, am excited to see what we didn't get to see as far as cinematics go and the just the vocal stuff that you get in Raid from the bosses, which can be telling in a lot of times.
Well, for instance, let me find the tweet really quick.
I think it was... Jaraxxus.
You do face Jaraxxus.
You like that, don't you?
I love this shirt. You have
Lord of the Burning Legion.
Eridor, Lord of the Burning Legion. Okay, so
that triggers him every single time. It's amazing.
If you don't know Muffinus, I follow him on Twitter because he's amazing. Anyways, he's one of the...
Would you say you're a groupie?
Kind of, yes.
I'm a Celestial groupie,
he's one of the developers, and so he was asking people about what do you expect to see on Argus, and that kind of pertains to Nighthold because it's a lot of answers and a lot of questions, and that's what we're gonna get. So this is more of a as we learn more, we'll know more.
The more you know,
because there's a lot of stuff that they're hiding still.
Well, I'm pretty sure during the encounters there's going to be so much history going on as we're fighting stuff, and so many little pop-up windows of what's going on and how we've gotten there and why we're fighting. So this boss and whatnot. So it'll open up a lot of doors on finally answering questions that a lot of people have, and
interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm mixed. This is the most excited I've ever been for a raid. So
yeah, we know.
The most?
Yeah, it's the most excited I've ever been.
She's gonna probably die and then just pan around the camera to see what's around.
You have the architecture, you have the history, you have the story behind everything. It's honestly one of the most giddy moments I've had for a raid, for sure.
Yeah, I'll be a little less hateful, right? Like a little less hateful about having to raid. I'll actually want to raid. Probably until clear, and then I'll be like, okay,
I was going to say.
Let's
a couple weeks later.
Gears.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
accurate.
If any of you are interested, if there's any lore from Legion, and even moving forward with what we're going to be experiencing, to write in and let us know. info@pwncast.net, bell@pwncast.net. Write into Remedy and tell him, give me the loot, man. Comments on the show. If you're on iTunes, send an email. Let us know what pieces do you need filled in. What info are you looking for from a lore perspective?
Just wait till it's Lacondrius.
Well, Jaina's a Dreadlord, so they'll probably get married, because he's a Dreadlord also, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Who remembers what? See, guys, I'm being a better human.
Remember how you asked for feedback for remedies? I got feedback for you, Belle, on Twitter. You had, I got it, 100% approval rating, actually. And one person, 100% undefeated. Someone wants you to stack shoes on your head again. So.
Ewok, that's not happening, brother. There was a time, and there was like 20-something shoes I stacked.
The picture is glorious. Yeah.
I cheated and used some of the kids' shoes because, they're tiny, so I could stack two next to each other, but some of it smelled like cat because some of them were Hotz's from Hotz's room, and he had a cat, and his cat sprayed everywhere. Yeah, I love you, dude, but that cat had to go, man. It was bad for business. But and then it was like, I tried to just play through the pain because I was streaming, and I was just realizing that, like, I had a stinky cat shoe on my head. So it was quite gross. But there is a picture floating around somewhere on the internet of when I did stream with shoes. For every $25 donation, I put another shoe on my head when we were getting funds for BlizzCon.
Ask me on Twitter. I'll send it to you.
I'm sure you will. Send that right away. You guys are solid individuals. So, for Belle's Bites.
Appreciate you.
The results of your duel with Secret Sauce?
Secret was
Did
dead.
you guys ever duel?
Secret was dead. No.
I was asleep.
We will, though. We will. Here's the thing. So, for PvP, I did some stuff this weekend, and I also wanted to address some things in regards to last week's rant regarding PvP. So on the PWNCAST.tv site, there was a gentleman who had a very lengthy response, which I did appreciate, and I wanted to thank him for that response. He didn't appreciate my rant, and that's okay. A lot of people are not going to appreciate it. I'm not here to be most popular. It just is what it is. There are things that I will feel that you will not understand, just like there's things that you will feel that I will not understand. That's just the part of being this community, is you can feel and be however you want, and it's okay. Right. So he basically was like, you don't like this, you don't like that, Blizzard listens to you, and you're using your voice for not the right purpose. Like, I loved his message, and I thought it was awesome. I did respond to him. I promise
like
you,
he wasn't being like a
no,
an
he was
ass
just,
about
it was just like his view and his, his opinion, and how could I hate PvP when I don't PvP? Why don't PvP? Because I hate it. Like, I didn't just randomly wake up and say I hate PvP. I stopped PvPing because I hated it. So, but I wanted to talk about that because before I had even read that from him, I had already resolved myself that this weekend was going to be a PvP only weekend. I was going to cut back on the raiding until Nighthold. I wasn't going to do any world quests. All my stuff in game was going to be PvP, right? I just needed to reconnect and try to see if I could push through some of the issues and the disconnect that I feel with PvP, right? So he talks about how he has friends that he plays with and he has a grand old time. Right. One of the Bell's issues is, outside of Remedies and Aja, all the people that I PvP'd with on a normal basis were gone. They all went Horde. Right. So that probably contributed to me not being able to swallow some of the issues that I have with PvP. Normally you can ignore it, right? You can ignore some of the things that are going on because you have fun while you're doing, because there's people around you. So those people not being there did allow me to, in that clarity, decide that I didn't like it, because I couldn't just swallow it and suck it up because I wasn't playing, with people. So that didn't help the situation, but it was not the catalyst, I don't think, for my dislike for a lot of the things that are going on with PvP. Now, to that end, I did also get quite a few emails of people that completely agreed with my feelings on where the disconnect is and what's missing to that end. And this gentleman had talked about, it's great because we're not focused on gear, so skill outweighs that. I 100% agree. I'd never disagreed on the gear aspect, except that gear, to me, felt like an important part of the grind of PvP. It was important for me to grind for that gear outside of, okay, great, you gave us the honor talents to grind for. That's cool. But that gear aspect and that element from there, we kind of removed that from the equation, and I'm sad about that. The reason I'm sad about that is because we grind for gear for PvE. Wouldn't it, I liked that element of doing it for PvP. I liked the element of having to cap my conquest and knowing that I was going to go without gear for a while at the beginning of each season while you're I loved having that to-do list, and that to-do list was removed, right? Okay, we have the talents. That's great. Once you get all your talents, though, you have them. They remove the ability to, when you prestige, to have to grind those talents again. So there's no risk, no reward, right? Like, little risk, little reward there. You're cool, we can prestige and not lose those honor talents. But then you've removed my reason for that grind. There's no purpose outside of, accolades that you get. You get a cool banner. You get, different stuff on your little icon. You get those things, and I think that that's awesome. But to what end, though? Where's the purpose for somebody like me who doesn't want to be on a large ladder? Like, I don't want to push huge rating because that's not the kind of PvPer that I are. I just enjoy PvP, and I like PvPing. It's not to... I have other endgame goals in mind, you know what I mean? Like being able to grab the flag as a warlock when they don't like to let you do stuff because you're just a lowly warlock. You're not fast. You're slow because you're human, and you don't have any speed boosts outside of your burning rush, which takes your health, so you can't really use that. So I wanted to clarify some of my issues with it because I feel like in my frustration, I think people thought that I was just bashing PvP as a whole, and that's completely not what I was doing. I was giving my reason for hating parts of the PvP that they've changed, right? So, cool. We grind our honor talents. We get them. Then we prestige. Great, you gave us goals. That's awesome. But then nothing. There's nothing further that we do there outside of that because you removed the ability of when you prestige to have to regrind. I actually thought that was a cool idea to have to regrind your honor talents because... you get that, you take the risk, right? And then you get the bigger reward. Okay, I get why they removed it. People didn't want it. I understand. So we pandered again. We pandered to something that was initially a really super awesome idea. We pandered because people didn't want the grind. Okay, I'll swallow that one, guys. I'm going to be okay with it. I'm just going to not say anything about it. Now we've made it where the gear that we get it doesn't really matter. Some of it does. I'm going to wear it because I worked hard with RNG and praying to the RNG gods to get,
Right.
the gladiator versus the combatant gear. So cool. That's great. Thanks for all the versatility. Thanks a heap. Versatility over my haste, which I need my haste because of my chaos bolt. Okay. So, with all that in mind, especially to you who commented, I wanted to make sure that this was specifically to you so you could see that I am not just one of those people who rant and don't try to change it, right? So, with that in mind, prior to reading that, I had already had the mindset of that. I PvP'd all weekend. I spent all day Sunday. I got up at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's Sunday. I sleep in, had my coffee, sat down here, hair sticking straight up, no bra, not giving a shit, was on PvPing. Remedies messages me at like 3 and he's like, hey, I'm going to do these things and then I'm going to be on. I'm like, I've already been on all day. Like, I've literally been PvPing all freaking day. So that doesn't normally happen because I normally don't get on Bertha on the weekends until closer to the evening time.
I was weirded out.
Yeah, I was like, and I didn't raid. I literally focused on my PvP. Here's some of the things that I have learned and either agreed or disagreed with based off that. So I want to make it clear that I stopped PvPing for no other reason other than I didn't like it. Just wasn't fun for me. I didn't like it.
Right.
All the changes, the being constantly in CC, I was frustrated. I was always CC'd. Anytime going up against melee, you're literally just decimated, right? This was the beginning of Legion PvP Season 1, decimated, and I just got fucking sick of getting my teeth kicked in constantly on an all-the-time basis in every fucking battleground. I understand clothies are always going to be squishy. It just is what it is, but this was really bad, guys, for me. Like, I'm a warlock. I'm used to being able to survive through the worst conditions ever, so much so that people bitch about warlocks because of their survivability. I was getting shit on second after second by fucking rogues and by warriors, literally. DKs are a little bit of a problem, but still, they've never really been much of a problem, and even now they're not. I mean, it's a struggle, but I can kill them. So, then Demon Hunters, please don't even get me started because I'm going to rant, I'm going to rage, and it's going to be a bad time. I go in to see what's changed, right? Let's see what in my mind since the beginning of the expansion, which stopped me from PvPing. Let's see what's changed. Still back-to-back CC. It seems there isn't a fucking DR anywhere. We did skirms, and I spent the whole battle in a CC. Back to back to back. I'm not even joking you back. And I literally said to Rem, hello? Is there any DR anymore? Or
2 stuns, she was dead.
No joke. Literally just stuck in CC.
Well, I have 3 stuns, so I'm just saying.
Okay, so somebody's going to have to explain to me what's going on with these CCs. Is there any DR anymore? Did DR die? Did we just give up on life and say no more DR? What? I know there is a difference, and I just need somebody to help me. It's
I'm
not
drawing a blank. DR. What's DR again?
Diminishing returns.
Diminishing returns.
Oh,
It's where, so
okay.
if you were to CC, you would only
Yeah.
get like a half CC next time for that duration. Then after that, you would get like a quarter, and then it would
Still exists.
Eventually,
Not
I don't
over.
see it anywhere. I gotta be honest, I didn't see it anywhere. I literally spent entire matches CC'd. I had somebody with me as proof.
Well,
Whatever
who-
that may be, I'll have to go and browse. I did try to browse the forums to try to find out if that is something that's normal, but this was what happened at the beginning of the expansion. I was CC'd the whole time and I didn't understand what was going on. Now, I am a human, so I do understand that the racial has changed to stuns only. I get it. However, that has nothing to do with it because the every man for himself had a cooldown. So It's not like I had it constantly anyway, so the change wasn't that large. That one tiny tweak, plus I have my trinket, right? So I have my every man for himself for my stuns, and then I still have my trinket. I'm telling you, it feels that way. However, I push through the pain, push through getting literally 2-shot by warriors. 2-shot, not kidding you. 2-shot and I'm dead, literally in a stun. Rogues, not even a fucking fighting chance. No joke, not even a fighting chance. Demon Hunters, you might as well fucking forget about it because I didn't last in anything we did when it came to Demon Hunters.
What were you
whatsoever.
running though? Who was your partner in crime? What spec or class were they?
Well, this is in Battlegrounds, so
Yeah, that's just
excuse me.
everybody.
So
yeah.
this is me having a cushion of 9 other players, 14 other players, right? Because some of these battlegrounds are like, this is with me having the cushion that I'm used to in a BG with being able to rely on other players. Push through my frustration, I have to tell you, Alliance with the racial change and so many people going Horde, I feel the pain on Alliance side. I feel the pain, and I don't know what the shift is happening, but where Alliance used to be pretty successful it was not successful a lot this weekend. I spent a lot of time losing. I'm not sure what that shift is. I can only assume that, like me, I lost all my PvP friends except for Rem to Horde. So I can only assume that that's kind of been the shift. Not to mention, Battlegrounds, as always, are super toxic. It seems to have gotten worse. I don't even pay attention to instance chat anymore because it's so, like... We lost one that was super close. We were neck and neck. And when we lost, people were like, good job, losers. What? We worked really hard and we almost won it. How is that? And then he was calling everybody...
Because you guys didn't win.
But he was calling everybody baddies. And I'm like, what? Like, that was the most strategic I've ever seen for a rando group. I was quite happy with the win. And he was like, you guys are all baddies. This is why I play Horde. And I'm just like, how is that... I struggle to understand humankind sometimes, and I'm sure he was just trolling, and that is what it is. But the community as a whole, I did have a couple groups that were awesome, right? Everybody was communicating, people were working together. But those are the exceptions now. Those are not the rules anymore. The community is quite toxic if you're not in a pre-made, right? Which is why Belle likes RBGs, because I like the pre-made, so I don't have to deal with that toxicity. But the community is, I don't know if it's getting worse or if I just am intolerant now. I'm not really sure. Maybe some of you guys that do these can, maybe you guys can shed light on how you feel about that. But these people are rude, and it's just a bad time. So overall, for my experience, I had fun because I went in with the mindset of win or loss. I'm getting stuff for my honor levels, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to find my joy again, even with all of this stuff. Now, to those of you who didn't like my rant and felt like my rant was premature or uneducated, I got to tell you that my rant still stands. Even more so now than it did before. My rant and my dislikes and the reason I dislike things, it still stands. However, I resolve myself to continue to push through it because I tell you guys to push through it, right? My whole thing is when we don't like something, don't just push through it until it gets better. I don't know what changes are in the works for PvP or even what's going to happen that they're even going to care, to be perfectly honest, because I don't know. The big streamers and stuff, they seem to be enjoying themselves, so I guess I don't know. I know that I went to the forums and the majority of the people do feel like I do in a lot of ways. Some of them unjustly so, like some of them are bitching about dumb shit that to me just doesn't seem, it just seems irrelevant compared to, some of the other things, but I do feel like it was a good thing for me because I did start to find my love for certain things again. I still don't fancy arenas. It's just not a good thing for me. It's not fun for me. Jimma says you're not really good at PvP unless you arena, which is probably right. But it
just slows the game down.
It's too fast paced for me. At some point, maybe it will be a thing. I did a lot of arena in Miss Pandaria. I feel like I'm so disconnected from that it's just not the right time for me. It's not fun, basically. We did those skirms and I just was not having a good time. We had to split it in 2 days because I was just sick of it. So overall, I did enjoy. I got lucky with a lot of gear pieces. I got 9 necklaces.
Oh, those are the best.
9 necklaces.
You did do a lot of PvP,
well,
Dan.
better than the capes you got over and over and over.
RNG, 9 fucking necklaces. That was on Sunday, guys. 9 necklaces. So, thanks.
At least they had all different stats.
No. 4 of them were the exact same.
Oh, those are
same item level and everything. Thanks a heap. Totally love it. Cool.
It's because you need them for your different specs.
Right, because I need 9 of them just to make sure I'm all blinged out. Yeah. I'm not going to complain about that, guys, because at the end of the day, the gear don't really matter, right? So why am I bitching? I don't know,
you can go do a Mythic 10 and
I want to feel good.
Necklace.
I want to feel good, and I want to have all my gladiator gear. My vindictive gladiator, whatever. I want to have all that because I want to feel good inside. I want to feel warm and fuzzy because I have that gear, because that's what I'm used to as a PvPer. I love that it's skill-based, guys, so don't get me wrong. Those of you that are lobbying will saying, well, it's all skill, it's not gear-based. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's amazing. Except, I think we should have gear that matters. I think we should have PvP gear that matters. I originally thought it was a great idea. If you guys fast forward a year ago, when we talked about these changes in PvP, I was the biggest one to lobby for it being skill-based and not gear, right? The biggest one to lobby for it, and I'm sorry I ever opened my mouth. Because I take back every single word. Yes, it should be skill-based. I 100% agree, guys. 100%. However, There will always be classes that no matter what you do, there's no counter. No matter what you do, you will get stunned, dead. No matter what you do. I know because I've seen it and it's happened to me. So yes, I do think it should be skill-based, and I think that it should be based off your skill and not on your gear, but I think gear should matter a little.
Yeah, it should.
Well, the problem with that sometimes is some specs scale off this stat, which you'll get on gear no matter what, but then you'll have like Destro, which scales better with haste and mastery.
Yeah, but they keep taking my haste away for versatility, which you explained to me the need for versatility, and I appreciate that you explaining that to me in PvP, except fuck your versatility, I'd like my haste. In PvP, my Chaos Bolt is a 2.19 second cast. Because the PvP gear keeps adding versatility and taking away my haste. In PvE, my Chaos Bolt is 1.94, so it's under 2 seconds. Not a big difference, guys. However, it is a big difference when you have a Demon Hunter coming at you. Like, that, just those half a milliseconds literally do matter because... Now that I've told you the things that I dislike, let me tell you about some of the things that I do like. Oh, and I want them to make it where you do lose your talents when you prestige. I really think that was a bad idea. I think that was dumb. Just my opinion, guys. Don't shoot me in the head. It's just the way that I feel. You should have high risk, high reward. That should be the way that it works. And it should be, your reward should be greater for doing that, I think. If you want to have it, maybe people get a choice and they get a better reward for going without their talents while they're getting their honor level after a prestige. I'm not really sure, but I think it's a bad idea the way that they have it set up now. And it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. It just...
Well, Hots made a good point was for the higher ranks. I guess you could just choose not to prestige, like to make it roll over until the season's over, but for the higher...
Maybe they could give people a choice. So, I mean, they're so into giving people the best of both worlds. Maybe you could give them a choice. Like, if they keep their honor talents, okay, they get the X reward. But if they choose to go away with that, then they get, a better reward. So we changed... I
think there just needs to be new content. Like, we got a lot of new content for PvP. Like you said, the talents were nice, and... For me, the gear missing is not the end of the world. I always liked getting the new gear because it was for transmog. I always liked collecting.
Exactly, that was a big deal.
But I just feel there needs to be new more.
They pandered the changes to the high end guys, right? That's why we're not changing. We're not losing talents. Like they've pandered a lot of it to the high end guys.
Well,
and I think that that's amazing because these guys are the reason. I got into PvP. Like, I understand why you did that, but I don't understand why we keep pandering to one specific group of people. I'm so confused as to what our focus is in the community. What are we doing here? What's the focus? Isn't there supposed to be a purpose for PvP? Maybe somebody could explain to me, and I don't want somebody to be a dick to me and be like, fuck you, your vision is wrong. I want somebody to help me understand what we're doing here with PvP.
The purpose
what's the purpose?
It's rating. It's your arena ratings. It's to test your skill. It's to...
But is that the bulk of people's purposes, I would assume, then?
For the most part, for the people that PvP a lot. I know I haven't been on... lot,
but I'm not like, ooh, so-and-so rating. Rating in a battleground is the only rating I care about. But technically, what do I say about rating in battlegrounds? Your battleground rating doesn't mean anything because you have 9 other people helping you get that rating. So at the end of the day, if you come to me and you're like, oh, my 3 rating is blah, 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 then I'm like, that's great because you had to work hard for that because there was only 2 other people with you. So battleground rating, it's cool that your team is good enough to get that, but it's not a credit to me. Like, it doesn't make me... I don't want to say it in a bad way.
For the really high rating, you have to be X amount of skill to be accepted on the team. I find there's a gap for sometimes finding a groups for, the 1400 to the maybe 1900, and I don't think what I said last week is a solution where you can queue solo, because I think there is a lot of people that like forming the groups and pugging or with your guild running, but I feel like for a player like me who sometimes just gets tired of trying to get into groups and it doesn't work out and I got to take 3 losses before I can get on a good group, I feel there just needs to be something for that, and then just some more content we're missing. I don't know what it is. I just feel like we need something more. Reskinning another arena and...
Well, part of the problem was all the changes they did was for the system, all the background stuff.
Yeah.
And the last time we even got any type of new map, besides an arena map, which doesn't even count, was Pandaland.
I'd like to see them focus more on bigger groups outside of just the 2v2 and 3v3. I would like to see them focus some more attention on RBGs. I'm not really sure what I would like to see there, but I love, obviously there's a lot of, I watch all the championships, all the esports when it comes to 2v2 and 3v3s. I love watching it. I don't love participating in it, but I love watching it.
Well, when you watch the finals,
insane.
I've never seen anyone go as crazy as her for these. So, but because I didn't rewatch them and I didn't watch them though, did you see Warlocks in those 3 teams? Like, what was a lot of the ranged classes that were in those arenas?
There wasn't any.
Because I didn't watch. Wasn't any Warlocks?
No,
or was
there
it
wasn't
mostly
any ranged. You didn't see clothies in arenas. The whole time we did, I see maybe one mage. I did not see any clothies.
It's not good.
Are you talking about for the BlizzCon or just
in general? Yeah, high.
Oh, I don't. That's different. No. It's different now than it was at BlizzCon. That's a whole PvP's different. Right, because BlizzCon it was different.
But I'm asking.
But when me and him did skirms, Warrior DK, Demon Hunter Rogue, Warrior Rogue, DK, Rogue, fuck you, Rogue.
It was all melee, but
Melee's gonna hurt you.
There's plenty of blocks, but you have to have the right comp, and that's
right.
You don't see a lot of Destro still. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
No, I wasn't asking. I was just wondering, sometimes it's good to learn from those champions for your class. So if you're I remember Frieza used to always say that. I didn't always agree with what Frieza had for PvP, but he always was good for saying pick your champion. I know you got to.
Well, I have a few Destros that are making it, keeping the dream alive. But I was happy in Battlegrounds to see a lot of destruction and a lot. I've seen some baddies and I've seen some real great ones, real great ones. That I started seeing the way that they were set up, what they were hitting me with, what their rotation was, what talents they chose, like the Nether Ward, which is something that I'm excited because it's Spell Reflect. I hate that in Warriors because they always cast it when my Chaos Bolt is in the air, and I'm like, why? But
there was a couple of Destros that we ran into, like BGs and in arenas. Like, oh, what was their name? Oh my god!
Yeah, because I wanted to see, they've already got it figured out. I arguably don't tell people I'm the best of the best. I don't want to be the best of the best, guys. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to have a sense of purpose when I'm PvPing. I want to kill people with my
But for
Chaos
you,
Bolt.
That's winning for the most part. Because
winning for the reward and not so that I could be I won 20 rando battlegrounds. If I'm RBGing, I want to win. I don't want to lose. I want to win. I want to play to win. I'm not playing to lose if I'm doing RBGs. If I'm doing randos, the losses hurt, but I'm still getting honor, so it's whatever. I'm still getting something towards it. It's really... I did a lot of grinding this weekend for my PvP, and I'm going to be doing it again this week. But, so my good experiences I had is I did enjoy, especially now with all the different changes that are happening literally on a hotfix to hotfix basis. They're doing a lot of class fixes for PvP. It's nice to have to figure out again things that I didn't know before, I didn't pay attention to, like Mage's Temporal Shield. Just things that were not a factor in PvP before now are now new factors for me because I put PvP down in Season 1 because I didn't want to deal with the bullshit anymore. So it's nice that I've been able to kind of learn that. And it's also nice to be stalked by melee again. There's one battleground where there's one asshole who focuses on me the whole goddamn battleground. That's cool, Warrior. You want to be my friend? You're trying to make out and hunt me, do me from behind, whatever the fuck weird shit you're trying to do. I'm gonna need you to go over there and stop loving me.
Fuck no.
Nobody would hear me.
That's his job, though.
Well, no, it is, and you should stop the Chaos Bolter. In truth, I should be the one you stop because I will fear and Chaos Bolt you to get death. So I totally get it because I'll free cast if they let me. I'll do it. So from my standpoint, when we RBG, that's the first thing we do is I automatically look for the Warlock and the Mage because I want to make sure I'm stopping them from free casting because I know they're hiding in a bush or LOSing somewhere and they're free casting. So, but I was getting mad at this one Warrior. He was really good. I wasn't mad for any other reason other than, can you please stop trying to hunt my leg? I'm trying to do things. But I did things that were not in my normal wheelhouse this weekend with PvP. I always went for the flag. It didn't always go well, but I went for the flag and I did it. Because it's nice. The 2 flag maps, you pop your portal up at the top, you drop down, grab the flag, go back, haul ass at the top, they don't even see you. And some battlegrounds people didn't get the flag at all. So me and Murky last night, We only had 8 people on our team. Then we only had 6 people on our team because everybody kept leaving the battleground. Alliance was not going for the flag, so me and Murky were like, fuck it, we're just going to go kamikaze. And we would go right into the lion's den. There would be horde everywhere, and I would grab the flag, but we wouldn't make it out alive. And it was one of those moments where you're just like, I can't fix it, so I'm just going to join in the baddies fighting on roads and not, following any kind of protocol. But I did a lot of things that I don't normally do. When we did, I don't remember. I kept making sure we were.
What I said to Belle was, someone who doesn't like tanks in PvP, she sure wants to be one with getting the flag and going kamikaze like she's a melee tank.
We were doing silver shard mines, and I would just hop in because lava's the place to be. I would just hop in the center, and he was like, "Wait, I can't heal you." I'm like, "You're fine. I'm gonna die." And it's totally, we were losing, and our team was not giving a shit that we were losing. Our team was doing nothing for the win. It was a bad loss. So when it was like at 1400 versus like 30 for the carts, I just
we got 200. We got one cart.
It's difficult because that's one of the things that I miss doing RPGs is I like that when it's
the structure.
When it's structured and there's an end game, and every time I'm in a random battleground in my mind, I'm going through the process of what we should be doing. Then when there's 3 or 4 of us, we're calling out and like basically pretending the other 5 people are not in anything.
Yeah, we're over here, and then
we're just doing the whole thing. You don't got to worry about us. Like, we know what we're doing. We RPG. I loved the fact that it felt like home being in Battlegrounds, even though a lot of them did not go well. And I love the fact that I instantly remembered all the things that you should be doing strat-wise and was frustrated when they weren't being followed. And that made me feel like I need to probably find an RBG team and an RBG because I want to be doing the structure again. So, but I got a lot of gear. And
necklaces.
Yeah, that's a positive.
I went from honor level 6 to honor level 28.
Wait, you were at 6 when you started?
Yeah.
That's 30's good. I like that you hit 30.
I told you I was not dealing with that shit in season 1. I literally was like, fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with it.
You have to arena.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's not fun for me.
Oh, by the way, Belle, I have a mission for 5 ranked arenas we can do.
I think I got that too. Probably don't want to do it.
Let's go.
It's so, like, I feel like they're trying to force me to be melee, and I just don't want to abandon Destro. So I'm just going to keep working, keep plugging away. Yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it, guys. I'm just going to keep doing it. The talents, in truth, they're fun. The honor talents, most of them, I don't notice a big difference, and that's fine. That shouldn't define my skill set, to be perfectly honest. The honor talent shouldn't define my skill set, which somebody had mentioned. I don't know if it was a comment or it might have been the gentleman that wrote in on the show. I'm not really sure that, the talents make or break. I don't really believe that because I think your skill set is outside of talents, right? If you guys are telling me, if you guys are telling me skill sets outside of gear, then it should be the same for the talents, in truth.
It depends. Like, the one thing that I fail out is, so in an arena, I got to look at the comp I'm going against, and I need to change those talents. So they're not always the deal breakers, but they can, depending on the talent in the class and what you're fighting against. So
yeah, and
that's one thing that I fail to do.
It helps for sure. The focus chaos gives me 100%. It adds 100% damage to my chaos bolt, which it's already overpowered. But the offset to that is I can't havoc, which is fine because in most instances you don't actually get a havoc off unless you're just turreting, right? Like that you don't actually get, especially in arenas, it's really hard to deal with your havoc situation because you're constantly swapping targets. So the havoc isn't, I don't use havoc as much in PvP. I mean, I use it just not as much as I do in PvP, so it's fine. But there's stuff that I did like.
Well, part of the skill, quote unquote, with the talents is knowing what to talent into compared to what your comp you're going up against, which is learning.
That's what I need to do better. That's
for
comps. That's what I need to do better.
In that spirit, I gave myself that homework on purpose and am focusing back on my PvP. I want you guys to know that wasn't an easy thing for me I'm an emotional player when it comes to things that I love in game. And with that emotion comes a complete shut off and disconnect when I can't handle the changes that are happening. This might not, I'm not saying that this is a good way to be, guys, but this just is what it is. And I'm not going to apologize for having a breakdown last week about ranting about something that I'm emotional about, okay? Emotional. To the point of I have cried over it. Some people might say that's stupid, but it is what it is. That's just me. Love me or hate me. That is how I am, and I'm very emotional, and my PvP has always been that way. It just is always, I've always been emotional about PvP. So for me to not want to play it, it's a bad way to be, because I was that way in the beginning of Mists of Pandaria, and friends are the only reason I was able to snap myself back into it and find that love again. This time I had to do it, and I had to pull myself out of it because we had so much stuff going on. There wasn't anybody like, hey, let's force you to PvP. There wasn't, because we had other things to do. So with that, I am upholding my end of the bargain. I'm going to continue to push through the pain until it gets better, because I don't know what else to do at this point. But overall, my experience this weekend, I shit ton of AP, guys. That AP was off the charts. I was getting it left and right, and I was super happy about that. Community's toxic as fuck. I don't want to be anybody's friend in a rando battleground that are jerks. If you're a jerk, please just don't even bother with me. I don't want
the same.
Yeah, I don't want
It's
to be
the
your friend
same.
if you're going to be
Always
rude. So most of the time, I don't even look at instance chat unless it's one of those groups where there's somebody that's like, hey, we should do this, this, and this. But most of the time, I do ignore it because it triggers me to say stuff that I shouldn't say. So, like, when it's always funny because whenever people are talking shit, I'm just like, why are you here then? Why aren't you in an RBG? What's up, pro playa? Like, I don't understand. Why are you
I
here?
love it. One of the ones we did, like, the guy was complaining, and he was like, no objective points, no damage. I was like, hello?
Yeah, he had, like, the lowest DPS of the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It was kind of funny. So, I'm going to need you to be better than me, sir. 2 of those, 2 out of every 4 or 5, I was, like, 3rd in damage, which is nice. But I mean Chaos Bolts. It's kind of cheating. I feel like it's cheating because it's, like, Chaos Bolts. So.
Top.
A little bit.
But with that, I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. Now, I'll be doing more PvP, and the next thing I want to look at is I want to look at the different class breakdowns and the way that they play. So over this next week, my focus is going to be picking one of those classes, and I'm going to be teaching myself better counters for those classes, specifically melee. Like right now, Demon Hunters, Warriors, and Rogues are my huge problem. So my focus for this week is going to be me learning how to counter those classes in a better, more effective manner, instead of panicking and throwing my mouse and then being pissed off and raging at Remy.
That's probably the best
'cause I'm
thing for
angry.
you to do. No, that's a
Yeah,
good
so
thing
I'm going to try to take my frustration into something constructive. I don't know if it's going to work. I still feel how I feel about PvP in general of the overall. I still feel that way. I don't not feel that way, but I'm a professional, guys. This is what I'm supposed to do. So not a professional PvPer. I'm just, professional in making sure that I provide you guys with what you guys need PvP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on a series of counters when it comes from casting from a caster Clothy, aka Destruction, which should be able to be pretty blanket. I should be able to meld that into a nice little segment with here's different things that you can do to counter these classes. So I'm probably going to work on Rogue first, because Rogue
you know what will help that? That was perfect. I was going to say you could duel.
Right. Rogue's
Secret sauce.
Rogue's right now, which we are. We're going to set up a duel. We're going to do that. We're going to stream it and do all that fun stuff. Listen,
week.
it's probably going to be after I move. I'm not going to lie.
That's fine.
Yeah, it'll
That's
probably be
pretty
after I
good.
move. I don't want to lie to people, but it will be after I move. I
After
know.
the show.
Yeah, no. So
We could.
especially not in my state of mind with
we
Rogues
could.
right now.
Wait, I
But-
just heard we
So
could.
next week, what we'll do is my segment's going to start talking about countering and different strategies for PvP with different classes. So I am going to educate and help educate those that might need this information. So hopefully you guys ride the lightning with me. Those of you that comment, that gentleman, I need to find your name because I want to shout you out. He said, forgive me. He had said something about like, forgive me if this comes off the wrong way. I don't get mad when people give me their opinions, even when it doesn't agree with mine. And I don't get mad for people saying how they feel, even unless you tell me I belong in the kitchen making sandwiches, then I'll lose my shit.
We know.
But,
Other
than
mean,
that,
We fully
I
agree with
don't-
that one, though.
You do make a good sandwich,
I
though.
do make a good sandwich. If people think I joke, I really do make a great sandwich. Rem has had them. He knows they're very
They're very
on
tasty,
point.
huh?
Yeah, you're half Caucasian,
No.
half sandwich maker, aren't you?
right. So, yeah, Logan was his name, and he said it doesn't sound like Bell's done a lot of PvP at all. As far as I did do it in the beginning and did not since then. So, Logan, you were very nice, and I do appreciate that. Now, I want you to know what that did for me. I had already been PvPing at the time I had read that. What that did is that did give me a little bit of fuel in my fire to push through me being pissed off about getting literally back-to-back stunned. It did give me like a fire poker to say, well, I mean, Logan's calling me out here, so now I got to prove Logan wrong. So I do appreciate that. I read every word that you said, and I appreciate that you took the time to write that because it was very lengthy, and that meant a lot that you cared enough to comment on that. So I just wanted you to know, like, thank you for that.
Good job, Logan.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that because it meant that you gave a shit enough. Then he said he turned off the podcast. My segment's at the end, so I mean, I'm sure these guys didn't get offended that you turned off the podcast because my segment's literally the last thing. So, but if you turned off the show because you were frustrated with something I said, I mean, you probably missed, an inappropriate joke or something. So, but
so is Logan why you chugged along in those skirms?
It is because he was kind of like calling me out a little bit, but it's also frustrating because, like I said, I'm emotional about my gaming, and when your emotions are attached to that, it's not as simple as just do this and do that, and then it's not that simple. So with all that, yeah, so Bell's Bites will consist of next week. We'll be talking about some strategy as far as probably Rogue is probably going to be my first one because I need to learn how to counter just to stay alive. So
I don't think you can do that without dueling. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it easily without dueling. I'm going to go in and get my teeth kicked in, and I'm going to try different ways of countering. I'm going to watch videos, and I'm going to educate myself, and I'm going to learn by doing so that I can help others. So with that being said, thank you to those of you who comment. And if you have anything you want to say to me about this episode, guys, I promise you last week's episode will not be the last time I rant. There will be something that I'll rant about because many more. We all rant and we all feel things and, we just do them.
We feel some type of way.
Feel some type of way. Secret, I'll duel you, okay? I'll go
with
Windwalker.
That being said, let's talk about our week in WoW, guys. Jimbo, what did you do this week in WoW?
Oh, I got back to, like I said, I was pretty lazy, let me start over. No, let's continue. I created that group, and it was so good, too. Like, I got every once in a while when we play Warcraft or we game with certain people or just interact with people we've met over the years, you get a great vibe for the community. And I really realized I was missing a big part without connecting with my admins and moderators. They're so good. And I've been paying attention more to group and just reading the chats in general and getting some feedback from what people are talking about and enjoying in the game. And then one of the crazier things that I've ever seen posted in that group is 2 people met and got married, which is kind of mind-boggling. I know a lot of relationships are built within game. Very cute. Yeah, it was. I don't know how long it will last. Why would I say that? But no, I thought that was really cool. So I got back to just some adminning and paying attention to the Facebook/Warcraft community. I got to do some little bit of PvP with Bell last night. I didn't get a lot of PvP. I'm very sad at myself as well for not
You should be, because you said, hey, I'll totally PvP with you. And then after like 3, you were like, okay, that's it for me. I got to go. Oh.
I ate so much food. We did 5 because we won 2, lost 3. So I was there for 5. And yes, I did quite well at healing. Thanks for the compliment, Belle, and the shout out. I like that. And I had a lot of fun, but I ate some bomb dinner leftovers, and then I put cheese sticks in my air fryer and ate those. Like, I totally pigged out. That was my night last night. And I sold a pet, 2 pets. It was nice. Yeah, I don't do that very often anymore, and I finally put some more on, or every couple weeks or week or so I put them on. I made about 70K gold off 2 pets.
Nice. Kick-ass.
Jimbo Banks for show, right? And one of those pets were those Pandaren spirits that I mentioned, that if you pet battlers are looking for content and stuff to do, beat those Pandaren spirits in MOP, and in the satchels you get a chance for those pets. And I sold it for 3K, so that was nice. And just some boring world quest stuff. I haven't got into a lot of serious stuff. So, yeah, it was a good week. Tried some stuff I hadn't done for a while.
So if you didn't pay attention to the group, what post did I comment on 8 in the morning?
8 in the morning. I don't know.
Just kidding.
Shoot. Actually, that's one thing I do see. Like when you see a post, you'll see some of your friends that have liked comments and whatever. And I think you pay attention to that group a lot, Remedies, right? Or you've not necessarily pay attention, but I've seen you randomly like posts or be involved. Yes, no.
There's a couple of
Not
people
so
that I
much?
pay attention to in the group because they're just like me and they like lore, and so I follow them.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, like actually, okay. I didn't even know it was like that. That's cool.
Yeah, shout out Theodore Terry. I like you
Nice.
a little bit.
Nice.
Awkward.
That's cool.
Secret, what'd you do this weekend? WoW, I know you worked a lot, but I think you got some WoW time in, yeah?
Very little. Helped out some friends do Heroic Emerald Nightmare, and slept some more, and worked. And
You taught a priest DPS.
I did,
this
yeah, I
week?
did that too. But I mean, I don't want to say that I really haven't had the drive to play WoW. I think what it is too is I was trying to level some alts, and I initially canceled the initial starter quest. Usually you can abandon a quest, and then it's like, okay, well, hey, let's do it again.
I hate when that happens.
That's not the case with this quest. You're screwed. Like, they made it where you can't select it again. So you're just stuck. And I've already submitted a ticket on it, and they're like, well, just go talk to this person. I'm like, no, like, it doesn't work. The scout map doesn't have anything else anymore. It's just... So I was kind of pissed off about that. And
Is that for your pally?
That's for my pally. That's for my shaman. That's for a few of them. So,
Why are you typing Bell?
ooh,
Oh, I thought I muted. Sorry.
sure did.
That mic stand's
Sorry,
gotta
guys.
go.
I don't usually do that. I normally mute. Apparently, the button didn't click. It was my husband.
Who you
asking-
typing to with that
it was
aggression?
My husband asking if the
Jeez.
show was over so that he can come in here, but it's not. He wants to Overwatch it. He can't till the show's
Yeah, he
over.
does.
So sorry. Next time I'll. That was really awkward. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. But I mean, it was that, and I know Nighthold's coming out, so I'm kind of, I guess, embracing for that. So
Well, yeah,
I
it's
know I'm
new
gonna go.
content, right?
Yeah,
very
it's not
repetitive
that
right
it's
now.
just good content. It's progression again, and
Yeah.
I know we're doing Trial of Valor and stuff like that as a raid team, but I guess I'm at that stage where I kind of got burnt out again. So I'm trying not to fully get burnt out. Where I'm like, hey, Bell, like I don't want to play WoW anymore. So I think the past couple weeks I have kind of taken them off, and it's just work. Again, work has just been
Life.
super overwhelming. Yeah, and I talked to a buddy of mine that's at work now, and it's going back to normal. So I won't be so not wanting to play WoW.
Well, I think everyone has those moments where they've played so much WoW or done similar things, repetitive things. It's good to take a break. Not that we're promoting you stop playing WoW, but so you don't get burned out, take a day or two and rethink your strategy or just enjoy some time off.
Yeah, so that was me. But next week, for sure. Next week, I will raid. I will be there. I will be present.
I don't know. We're probably replacing you as raid lead. So.
All right, that's fine.
Surprise!
I'll run mythics. I'll run mythics, so it's fine.
That doesn't mean you can't raid.
I don't want to raid then.
Oh!
Oh, you're like Jimma, where it's all or nothing. When I tell Jimma he ain't gonna be on the show if his show notes aren't in by Sunday, and he's like, "Fine, I guess I ain't gonna be on your show."
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna switch to Horde. I'm gonna do everything. No friends.
Right?
Delete you off my buddy list.
It's not good when you're
You
the
can pay for
truth
my
bringer,
other
guys.
transfer so I can go raid.
It's amazing when you're the truth bringer.
You can PvP with me.
Remedies, what did you do this week in World of Warcraft? Like, I don't already know because we do it together, man.
Exactly.
I fell into.
No, he
PvP
should have to do
thing
stuff
again.
that was not with Bell.
Ooh.
I got
Nothing. I know.
He has no notes there.
Sorry. yeah, keep going.
The raid we almost got heroic Helia. Got a 20-something%.
Nice.
And so and the good thing is that the head of the curve doesn't go away till the opening of Tomb of Cigar, so that's good news. So we'll definitely get that.
So there is an AOTC for trial?
For heroic Helia, yeah.
Yeah, there's always one for each tier.
But like Bell and Secret have said, like we're like a middle man in terms of progression, and we're actually kicking ass. We're kicking ass for sure.
Are you
Nice.
taking names though?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Screenshotting them. What?
But no, it was the raid Sunday and Monday, which is Monday's today, and then
Little
PvP on the weekend, and just World Quest. It's
Remedies, it's Tuesday, bro.
Not
I
in
didn't
America.
do
right
any
now.
World Quest this
It's
week.
Monday. Okay. No, it was a lot of just. I didn't do it. I didn't do a lot of the emissaries, honestly. I did mostly just off World Quest. Where it's like, oh, AP here, let's go do that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a laid back, just getting ready for raid and PvP.
I like your hair. It's very professional.
I know, it's very classy.
I think because I called him
Right?
out maybe the week before for looking like a bum. I feel like
She called me a hobo.
She called me a hobo.
I
shit.
did. I'll call you out if you look like shit. But you guys feel free to call me out. I've done the show busted as fuck because I was sick. So
You sure have. I remember that day.
It's not dripping out. Or
If you want to know what I'm using, I found out about it from the
Mocos de Gorilla?
I'll know what it's called.
is it 3
3
flowers?
weeks and Remedies already
But-
sold out. He's already.
Is he already promoting someone's shitty pomade product? Is it like a paste?
No,
Is it a
it
mousse?
smells like a lotion, but it's a fiber. Like I can comb it like all the way back and it would stay.
That's weird.
It's actually
like
pretty
a
fucking
wax.
cool.
That's
It
weird.
looks
No,
good.
it's like a cream. It's weird, but it works.
Mm.
Well, we'll discuss
it
your
white?
cream at a different on a different
Think
episode
about Mary.
for PWNCAST
using
After
it.
Dark.
Oh.
Super awkward.
And Belle, how was your week in a while?
You know,
We know we sat through it for the 30-minute PvP set.
I know. I knew it was going to be a big, long one. But I want you guys to know that I literally,
like it.
I realized that my role here is PvP and I wasn't doing my job. And I think that in order for you guys to get the best possible information, that I just needed to take a step back and realize that I wasn't doing my job. I needed to play and I needed to be active and I needed to know and do all those things. It's one thing to sit up here and say it, but you actually have to do it in order to be taken seriously and to be valid in the things that you're saying. So we take that very seriously here. You have to be doing it. That's why being active is important, because if you're not active, you're not a cast member, because I can't have you being fake on the show and not knowing what you're talking about if you're not actually playing. So those things are important. So with that, I didn't do anything PvE related except for Nomi's bullshit, who hasn't given me a recipe in a month and a half. So I don't know if they broke him, but he hasn't. I still need recipes, and he hasn't given me anything except for the slightly burnt food, which I do enjoy. I do like to use that as a health filler.
Right,
It
yeah.
does
Yeah,
actually
totally.
come in quite a bit of handy, especially when I'm solo doing stuff, and I don't want to waste the food buff food. Just a quick filler.
Yeah.
But I did.
I think that's fair, though. Good
Yeah,
point.
and I didn't do any PvE. I just did strictly PvP. Taking a break from raid until Nighthold, and then I'll probably clear Nighthold and then step back out again. It's the privilege
Right.
of being guild masters. I can pop in and out as I please because, I mean,
I can do that too, since I'm not a raid lead anymore.
they're
so
better
it's
off
fine.
without me. They're better off without me, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, so are we going to get Defiant secret sauce? I want to see like a disgruntled secret
He's
sauce.
not disgruntled. He works so much, he don't even give a damn, literally. He hasn't even logged in all week. He's been tired. He does a hard job. Like, I don't really know if he does a hard job. I'm trying to lobby for you.
I don't get home until like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
so.
like it's a tough, and he works like the worst shift ever for you to have any kind of life, because it's like difficult to have any kind of balance because everything goes on during the day. His girl, everything. So on his
Well,
days
I have
off,
a couple
like
customers where it's like they get pissed off if I call them before midday because they work night shifts. I'm like, oh, sorry.
and you can't
matter
really sleep
how-
all day because the girl and stuff has to be done during business hours. Like it's just the graveyard shift just sucks.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It pays my bills.
I'm saying money is money, and we about that money here. But that's what I did. I focused, did stuff. I didn't run too much stuff with the guild just because their stuff's PvE in its entirety. I'm hoping that people will see the PvP stuff happening and start to, hop in that train. Sketch is going to be doing PvP stuff every Tuesday.
He
so
is.
I'm going to hop in and do that stuff with
I
him.
might actually kind of, depending on the time, I might actually join.
He does it later, so I think it'll work out perfect for
Well,
you.
it depends. Depends on how later.
He does it like 10 server time, maybe.
7
I'm already
hours.
gone. I'm already gone.
Yeah, so like
I'm
I'm in, I'm ready. So that's pretty much what I
Already
did.
out
I
the door.
PvP'd.
Yeah.
PvP'd all
works.
weekend. So I think
Job.
But wait,
really-
what's your honor level at again?
27, 28?
What's yours at, Gemma Banks?
My honor level?
Yeah.
Well, I prestiged a while ago, my friend.
Bell.
You thought you were going to call me?
No, I was saying Bell has to catch up.
Yeah.
I'll be honor level 50 by the weekend.
Well, I like what she said about the inner week in WoW, right? She, 2017, new direction, new focus. I like what I've heard, and she should still duel Secret Sauce, but I'm excited to hear next week about Rogues.
And see, here's the funny thing about that is when Belle does duel me, she has so much up on my Rogue because my Rogue's only like in its 21th bracket for my artifact, and item levels probably neck and neck, but I have no PvP shit at all. So this will actually
doesn't even matter.
It really doesn't.
No,
even matter.
This might give you more time
balance.
to catch up in AP because by the time you guys duel, you'll be.
I want it to
25
be an evenly
level.
matched duel. I don't want to beat him because I outweigh him in that regard. Like,
Or
Yeah,
you don't
but
want to
even
lose
then-
because you're so far ahead.
Yeah, but I've seen a friend of mine duel in a 2s naked with just his trinkets, neck, and daggers back in the day against 2 people and killed them both. So it has nothing to do with any of that.
But was it the legendary daggers?
No. This was PvP, like Lich King era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's all based on how well Belle can play her lock. I will open up with like 6 stuns. I'm just saying.
Well,
what's
maybe
the
that's
difference? I've been dying to them all week, so
I was gonna say, well, maybe that's a good way for her to start, or a reason why she can start on Rogues. She'll learn the
Cheap
Rogues,
shot.
and she'll be better to do.
they're just the
That's
only
how-
thing when I see them, and I'm just like, oh, please don't touch me the entire game. If
Really?
you could just be on
Because-
the opposite side, it'd be great.
Don't worry,
me,
I
it was-
avenged your death. It's okay.
Demon Hunters, I agree.
Yeah,
Demon
Demon
Hunters,
Hunters are-
DKs, and Rogues, they hit hard. They're all
I
over
don't
me.
even know where they are. Like, when I'm trying to even figure out where they're at, they're like, then they're in the
Surprise.
air. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, they have that one thing where they fly up in the air. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. I try to fear them in the air.
PWNCAST
Yeah,
first
sure.
5-hour show. Yeah.
Well, no, we're a little bit over
We
time,
started
but
late.
we
Yeah.
are
Oh, no,
going to
we're
go
good.
ahead and get on out of here, guys. Please make sure you subscribe to the one person who dislikes every episode. Keep doing what you do because you are the real MVP. Make
That's
sure
right.
you comment. Tell us how we're doing. Ask us any questions. Email bell@pwnecast.net. Stalk us on Twitter.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much for giving us your hour and a half every week. It is a pleasure to be able to come into your home and slide into your visual and
my.
audio.
That's
It's
weird.
hot.
I did make it a little weird. We're going to go ahead and
bit.
get on out of here, guys. Bye.
But don't worry, you face Jiraxis.
Well, what does he say?
You're the
Trifling
Lord of the
gnome, your
burning
arrogance will be your
legion.
undoing. I was hoping you'd say like the whole thing. He didn't.
No, I didn't say the whole thing.
Anytime you mention Jiraxis, he says like the whole RP
Do it,
spiel.
Remedies. Take us out. Do it.
And he does it in like the deep voice.
Trifling, no.
Oh, he's not gonna do it. It's hard to perform like.
Are we off the show?
You can't do not yet. I mean, when you say we're off the show, are we dead? Is someone dying?
No, like
But did you
dead.
die?
Like the credits, it keeps on.
The credits are dead.